Sports Radio 560 WQAM Miami Fort Lauderdale presents The Neil Rogers Show. To talk to Neil, call 567-0560 toll free for Dade and Broward or pound 560 on your cell phone. The opinions of Neil, his guests, callers, or anyone else on the show do not necessarily reflect those of WQAM, Beasley Reed Acquisitions, or the Beasley Broadcast Group. Now, Neil Rogers on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
It's Friday, you bastard.
She looks like a guy. She's 7 feet wide. She makes me want to try. A chick with a dick, with 2 smelly chins, a bloated and ugly fat dick. She wants the media to stop abusing and ripping her an ass with songs like this. But we find that amusing from that self-promoting ugly bitch. Oh! How much were you paid?
How much were you paid?
For Monica's Day.
For Monica's Day.
By Richard C. Melinsky.
I wish you all would leave me alone. I'm just like every one of you out there. I'm a human being, damn it. Leave me alone, don't bother me.
Just who do you think you're fooling? You that obnoxious, ugly, smelly dick. You're really that drudge in a dress. Oh, no.
Okay, it's 10:01 at 560 WQM. Happy Friday. Today's the big day, baby. We're going to have a party today. We're going to have a post-Penisgate party right here on the air today, because in just next 90 minutes, it's going to be all over. Oh! And what are those right-wing lunatics, all those Clinton bashers, those Bubba bashers going to be doing? Well, this just doesn't sound right at all. You know what? This overhead. But I'm not going to get started on that. They do have their DCS upstairs. They got their, their DSS, whatever it is. Their damn dish. They got a dish upstairs. The only problem is a dish in a box. Oh! It's still sitting on the floor in a box. Oh, I wonder if it's milchik or flashik. But at any rate, Boog must be doing something right, because he sure gets a lot of hate faxes, I'll tell you. Yeah. See, I'm going to tell you something, boys and girls. Here's a little secret for you. If you're just an ass kisser and you're not pissing anybody off, you're probably pretty boring. But if you're like somebody that's getting people ticked off out there, then you must be doing something right, even if you are real fat. Boog inspired me to do one of our quick mini polls here this morning like we did yesterday. Maybe we'll do that every day. Like, yeah, like that. It inspires some good stuff. For the fattest and ugliest here at QAM, which we got a lot of candidates. Me, I'm right there near the front. But I got news for you. I'm not even close to being the fattest. Not even close. And, Joe, you're full of crap, by the way. You didn't just see me sitting down. I was standing up, and, goddamn, well, you're just sucking ass again, Joe. Say something, fathead. And we know Joe's got the fattest head. But he's not a candidate for the fattest and ugliest on the station. We got the wildebeest, which the people in the audience have never seen that. And believe me, and then we got Fat Boy, who is, oh man, I'm telling you.
Which one? You got to be more specific.
What?
You can't use that nickname for him.
No, Jeff High is known as Fat Boy. That's his name. That's his nom de plume. And don't give him no plume because he might eat it. By the way, Tracy, and we're not talking about Tracy Caracedo, our own Tracy. We're talking about Tracy, the chronic faxter. Yesterday and the day before was Tracy Foster. Today is Joey, who hates Boog like poison and says, stop sucking everybody's ass, Boog. Then here's Peter, who says, you're a fat piece of to Boog. And he also mentions that Pat Riley, I didn't hear what Boog said about Pat Riley listening to the station, but Pat Riley does listen to this show, by the way. In fact, I'm going to tell you something. Pat Riley, now that Doug McClain is long gone out of town, he's the only coach of a professional team in his town who admits listening to this show. So even though I hate the NBA, I can't stand Mickey Arison, I don't go for the grease down here look, but Pat Riley's a good guy with a sense of humor. Because he listens to this show and admits it. How do you like that? I like it. Nice going there, Pat. You're a good guy, okay? Get into a real sport someday. Maybe be a good hockey coach. How about those Panthers? Any interest?
No.
Beating Red Hot Ottawa 3-1 up there last night, and that big black guy named Peter gets another goal. Any interest?
No.
Okay, we won't talk about that no more. Sorry. Just thought I'd mention that. Okay, there's our mini poll for the day. Who is the fattest and ugliest? Now, let's see. Who are all the candidates? God, there's so many. Well, see, it's not fair because the audience doesn't know all these people. And I got news for you. I would be surprised when he comes back from his eating vacation if Defoe is a candidate. Seriously, I think that after they got done with Boog with the bicycle pump, hopefully they washed it off first because there's a lot of that typhoid going around. They washed off the tube and stuck it in Defoe's rectum, like pumped him up a little bit. See, when Arnold talks about pumping it up, I don't think that's what he had in mind. Or one of those limp wand spots we have on the station when they talk about pumping up your, I don't think that's what they had in mind either. Because Defoe, maybe he's in training for it. Maybe he's sitting at a buffet right now as we speak somewhere in training for the fat off. That would be a good contest, you know. Of course, that would be some promotion. It would be kind of funny. It would be very funny and amusing. Yeah, isn't that a great idea for promotion? There you go, Sam. Sam, are you listening?
No.
Got any interest?
No.
That would be a tremendous promotion. The fattest slob at QAM, which I would gladly participate. Hank is certainly in the running, although I guess he lost. I haven't seen Hank in months. And since he had that real scare here a couple of months ago, he lost, what did he say, a couple ounces? No, he lost some weight. Although even if he lost some weight, I wouldn't be surprised if if he's still in the running. He's still in the running. And we got Fat Boy upstairs. We got the Wildebeest. We got Schmo Griffin. Of course, she's not on QAM, but she's in the same family.
Josh Friedman.
Oh, jeez. I was trying so hard to forget.
Engineer Julio.
He's not that. He's fat. Yeah, you're right. He's pretty fat, but not like Josh Friedman. In fact, I think the finalist already is Josh Friedman, the Wildebeest, and Fat Boy, Jeff High. Those are the finalists. I mean, if you could see envision the three of them waddling down the hall together. Jesus Christ. As flimsy as this building is constructed, just envision the three of them in one of those elevators down the hall together. Oh, my God, because these elevators break down if there's if a butterfly gets on there. Like some of the people from Power 96, like if a butterfly gets on there, the elevator breaks down. But with the three of them on there together, no chance. So that's something you might think about with your sarcastic tongues this morning. I sure hope that lady calls in today because, God, I'm in a great mood. I'm almost over my rash. I'm feeling a lot better. But like the doctor said, it takes time. It's going already. But it's, man, thank God for that. Anybody out there going to be flying American Airlines anytime soon?
No.
I just want to say this, okay? American Airlines, you suck. That's what I want to say. And not that it didn't interrupt any of my plans because, I do fly American once in a while. Once in a great while, I have one of their Advantage air mile things, But I very rarely fly American. And quite fair, like I've said before, I've been fair. American Airlines has got the best food of any of the domestic carriers by far. They really have some good food. It's just that you can't get on a goddamn plane. That's the problem. Because their pilots are assholes. And even though that judge said go back to work, they said,
no,
we don't think so. We're still sick today. And they, 500,000 passengers just at LaGuardia the last 7 days have been all screwed up, just in one airport. So you can imagine nationwide how many thousands and thousands and thousands of flights and how many millions of passengers have been screwed up. And, I don't know about you, but I think by now you know me well enough to know that my vacations are pretty goddamn important to me, like all 85 vacations every year.
Uh-huh.
And if you've only got a few days vacation and you've got some kind of a trip planned, do wherever you're going. You're going to Hawaii, you're going to Vegas, you got a ski trip to Aspen or wherever you're going. And then along comes these pilots and screw up your life. And I blame American. I don't blame the pilots. I blame the airline. They should do whatever it takes to settle that, because I got news for it. I could be wrong, but if my vacation or my life was totally disrupted, and of course this is a 3-day holiday weekend, it's one of those bogus President's Day holidays, if my whole deal was disrupted, no matter whose fault it was, I would still blame the airline. And I would say, American, you suck, I will never fly you again. And even though they didn't disrupt any of my air travel plans, and I'm not going to be flying them anytime soon that I know of, I still probably won't be flying them because I don't trust the ambiance of the way they do business. They don't care enough about their customers to do whatever it would have taken to get the pilot satisfied and get them back and do something, whatever the hell it took to get them back to work. See, I've been really lucky. all the traveling that I do over the years, I mean, I have been really lucky. The only time I can think about a long delay was that one time in Amsterdam. We get to the airport, to Schiphol Airport in Amsterdam, coming back home. We go to the check-in counter, and they say, oh, are you aware that the flight is leaving 4 hours late instead of 10:30 at 2:30? And I thought, oh, Jesus. And then I realized there's the Holland Casino inside. There's a little casino inside the airport in Amsterdam. You know this story. And we go in there for 5 minutes. They got about 40, 50 slot machines. You know, it's a little dinky casino. I go in there, I play for like 4 or 5 minutes, and there's ding, 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 the bells are ringing, and $960. Which, quite frankly, I don't know about you, but $1,000 in, 4 hours, it was worth the stay. That's been my only, major inconvenience. I've had other things with, malfunctions and minor delays an hour here or there, but I've never had one of those deals. So I don't think I could cope with it. You know, you see those people have been sitting in the airport for a day and a half and 2 days, and they're just sitting there on their luggage with a look of death on their puss. I couldn't deal with it. I think I might just snap a little bit. 10 minutes after 10 at 560 WQAM.
This is a bunch of hooey. Oh, man, I'm in trouble now. Fat Jack, now look what you done. Oh, Bachelor with the same dress, Bachelor with the same dress on. Oh, Bachelor with the same dress, Bachelor with the same dress on. Yeah, it gets fine, kids, worse come. She's saving the dress like a low-life scum. Smells like doo-doo, wears a beret for a hat, wears a size 14 shoe, 'cause she's so goddamn fat. Not that she's that pretty, she's not that bright, but she can hum on my thing just the way I like. Bachelor with the same dress, Bachelor with the same dress on.
Squirt, squirt.
Oh, Bachelor with the same dress, that fat little jack, just because I let her like his children. Bachelor with the same dress, Bachelor with the same dress on. Bitch, Bachelor with the same dress, Bachelor with the same dress on.
In honor of the significance of today, we're going to be revisiting all of the Penisgate and Monica-gate and Linda Trippgate stuff today. And maybe after today, we don't have to be playing it no more.
Oh!
Although Monica, of course, Linda Tripp, she's making the rounds. She's all over the goddamn TV if you have a big screen. In fact, she ought to be in the contest too, by the way. Big fat cow, Linda Tripp. So at any rate, the votes are going to be between about 11 and 11:30 because they're behind closed doors one more time because I think there were 3 more senators who had to go pop, 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 just go through the formality of it. And we'll put it on there, baby. We'll open up that pot from CNN and we'll be able to hear. Yeah, exactly. And maybe one of them will say, could be. And then we'll get it over with. And then all those Bubba bashers out there, they'll have to find something else to do. Oh, and by the way, speaking of, maybe they didn't play with their little Teletubby. Because I come in this morning and what's sitting here for me on the counter? Nice going there, George. Wow, this is one of the most precious things I've ever received in my life. My very own Tinky Winky. I've always wanted a Tinky Winky, And here's my purple Tinky Winky in a box. And quite frankly, it looks like something from My Favorite Martian is what it looks like. It's out of this world. It's like a purple little stupid thing is what it is. And I don't see anything gay about it or straight or I don't think anything too sexual about it. In fact, it looks like rather smooth down there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, they're all very smooth.
Right. Kind of like our promotions director. Very smooth. Yes, an old smoothie. Oh, God. And then we got the Mandich story. Got so much stuff going on here today. Tom Jicker writes in the sports section, no less. TV radio writer. Oh, TV radio writer. Nice story about the radio ratings, by the way. The last 2 books, Tom. Well, he just was busy, Mandich fired from TV post. And now this is really old news, but for some strange reason it shows up both in Barry Jackass's column today and also in Tom Jicker writes in the sports section of the Sun Sentinel. Jim Mandich has been cut, it says. WPLG Channel 10 has told a former Dolphin-turned-broadcaster that he no longer will be the station's weekend sports anchor when his contract expires on April 17th. I think what put him over the edge was when he walked up to the GM there and asked him,
"Will you fudge packing?"
Does this mean he's been fired? As Mandich would say.
Yes!
Yeah, that's what it says. Yes, with 10 S's, So a little Tommy Jicker, my good friend who's bald and stupid and don't listen to the show, he must be listening. Don't put any spins on this, the colorfully blunt Mandich said. That's what happened. He got canned, axed, fired. Mandich said he was called into news director Bill Pohovy's office a couple of weeks ago and was handed a letter from the general manager, John Garwood. It informed him that his contract would not be extended. I read it, then Bill asked me if I had any questions. Mandich said, there isn't much to ask when you've been just told you've been fired. The reason cited, Mandich said, was his inflexibility in accepting assignments. The former University of Michigan All-America runs a construction company and is available for broadcast work only on weekends except in special circumstances. The outspoken Mandich, who also hosts sports talk programs on WQAM 560 AM, has been a presence on WPLG off and on since 1986. He has anchored the weekend sports reports for the past 2 years. Right?
Yes!
He says he leaves with no hard feelings. In fact, he's hoping that he might be able to prolong his association with Channel 10 in a limited form. I suppose I might try to continue with Sports Jam Live, the locally produced program that precedes Monday Night Football during the fall, he said. Pohovy declined to be specific, but offered the likelihood that Mandich will be asked to continue contributing to WPLG. Even after Mandich's contract expires, Pohovy said, Jim Mandich will be a valuable part of Eyewitness Sports. Mandich will also continue to serve as the color commentator on the Dolphins Radio Network. See, what some people don't realize, in fact, some of the people in this building are very lucky that Mandich's prime source of income is from his construction company, which restricts the amount of time that he can be on the air, because if he did have a more flexible schedule, I guarantee you'd be hearing a lot more of Jim Mandich on this radio station.
Yes!
Like on a very, very regular basis.
Yes!
Like, I mean, many, many hours a week.
Yes!
Because he's great. Don't be knocking Jim Mandich to me, like I've told you many times before. He's not just another dumb ex-jock. He's an entertainer. He's amusing. He's hysterical. He's a panic. Am I right?
Dumb son of a bitch.
Exactly. So there you go. No more Mandich on Channel 10, at least for a while. Then somebody, I think, it was Casino Stan, so I don't thank him so much, sent me the article from Tuesday, which somehow I missed it, about the swing club's bust in Broward County, Ken Jennings' psychosis and the pleasure police. I had actually seen this in print. A veteran Fort Lauderdale police officer and a Broward Sheriff's Office corrections officer were among 24 people arrested and charged with lewd and lascivious behavior early Sunday morning during a raid at a swingers club near Tamarack. Sheriff's deputies raided the Trapeze International Club, 3660 West Commercial Boulevard, just after midnight Sunday. They found more than 100 people inside the club, but arrested only those who were involved in sexual acts.
Oh, my God.
Said Major Gary Moore. I thought Gary Moore bit the big one. Head of the Sheriff's Office Strategic Investigations Division. Undercover officers from that division have been stalking out the club after receiving anonymous complaints from neighbors, Moore said. We're not in the business of promoting morality here, he said, just in the business of promoting state statutes. If there are other of these establishments around the country that are doing similar acts, they may have a problem with the Florida state statutes around the county. Well, I'm not going to read the names. And why they're in the paper, I have no idea. One is a Fort Lauderdale police officer. One is a BSO corrections officer. One is a corrections officer with Broward, a civilian employee with Oakland Park Police, and et cetera, and so on. Sheriff's and the club owners, Dennis Freeland and Alan Mostow, both of Boca Raton, were also arrested. Those arrested were charged with second-degree misdemeanors. Sheriff's deputies made a similar bust 3 weeks ago when Athena's Forum near Pompano Beach was raided, and 31 people were arrested and charged with lewd and lascivious behavior. Again, I know we had no response to this, at least not on the air, because everybody's terrified to talk about it on the air, lest their voices be recognized. These are private clubs, let me say it for the 500th time, where people pay a dues to join. They pay a very hefty amount to show up every week whenever they show up. Nobody is dragged in off the street. There's nothing overt going on, like out in the front steps, out in the parking lot. There are no hookers hanging around, because nobody needs any hookers in this place, because anybody that's getting any, it's on the inside. But, oh, no, we can't have that, because Ken Jennings got higher political aspirations, okay, and that's what that's all about. Here's Miami. Hello.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
The two fat candidates, first of all.
Yes.
Marlon Brando or Dave Gaines.
Dave what?
Dave Gaines.
Gaines?
Yeah.
Game?
Or is that his name, Gaines?
Yeah, Game. He's pretty gamey. Yeah.
And the other thing I wanted to call you about, a friend of mine sent me an email, and he sent me a couple anagrams, and the first one was evangelist. And if you take the letters from evangelist, you can get the word evil's agent. So it's for all those numerologists, Christian numerologists out there. Ironically enough, also, if you take the words President Clinton of the U.S., you get, and you rearrange letters, you can get to copulate, he finds interns.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of ironic.
Yeah. Never really gave it much thought, but I guess you're right.
No, it's just how they take 666, etc. I thought it was funny. Evangelist was evil's agent.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think most evangelists take it the wrong way. Like
rectum.
Yeah.
You have a good morning, Neil. Have a good weekend.
Have a great day. Okay, we got one call on aboard here today. I think maybe we'll just play the medley of all the Penisgate stuff until we get ready to put the thing on the air from CNN. 5670560, pound 560 on the Mobile One line. I guess nobody here flies American. Nobody here has had any of those bad experiences. Nobody here is fired up and pissed off about that because probably all the people that are having the problems are sitting there at a goddamn airport at MIA with a real sour and nasty look on their puss. Here's a Mobile in South Miami. Hello.
Hey, good morning, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Well, me and my friend were watching the game last night, and I could not believe saying it once. You said it like 3 or 4 times, calling snipers.
Okay, whatever you say is a sniper and you're getting a new phone. Okay, that takes care of our calls for today.
Oh!
Takes care of that. I think what we need to do is move these breaks up a little bit anyway. Huh? No, so we have plenty of time between 11 and 11:30. In fact, let's just jam them all together, and then we can sound like the worst team in the morning. Evidently, there's a lot of people really bitterly complaining and screaming and carrying on about the format on the worst team, which I guess is getting worse and worse than ever before, with 9 minutes of commercials and 3 minutes of sports updates, and basically no show. I mean, no show is a sports term, but the worst team is being forced, and don't blame them for it. Don't blame the guys on the show. That, again, is the formatics of the station, our sales department, and our management. And people are like turning off and doing evil things to their radio and getting really fired up and pissed off because the breaks are much too long. And there's like, you can't even find the guys that are on the show anymore in between the sea of spots. Well, we got to pay Wayne, 10:25 at 560 WQAM. I've been.
You have to suck.
She was an intern for the president. Early on, she wasn't sure what it meant, but he would show her.
All right.
Show her. He took her on a tour of the Oval Place, and when they were through, he held her by her face, and he said, lower.
Okay.
Lower. And the little intern had a terrible burst. He was a blower. The blower. The blower. Well, she taped conversations on the phone, talking about a Billy phone. And when he came, he had it in his hand. She said, Billy boy, gonna take the stand. I'm not the world's most curious man, but from what I hear, I understand she was a goer.
Yes.
Go. 10:31 at 560 WQAM. Boy, you can feel the people sweating right now, can't you? They're sweating bullets. It's less than an hour now. They're going to be voting, probably in about a half an hour, and they're going to be going
No.
And
No.
And
No.
like that. $50-60 million at least flushed right down the toilet, taxpayer money. People are starving. People are freezing to death on the streets of America up north. 50 to 60 million, though, we could find for this escapade because we're supposed to be all duly outraged at this unacceptable behavior because the president got a few blowjobs and wanted to cover it up. And after spending all of that money, his political enemies have been after him since the day he got in office the first time. Couldn't find anything else, couldn't nail him on anything of substance, so they found a substance on a dress, and that's what they went after. That was the only substance they could come up with. And we've been dragged through all this sanctimonious hypocrisy, all this endless millions and millions and millions of words where they've just repeated the same crap over and over. And, of course, we don't want to insult the House managers. What is that all about? Have you heard that comment? We don't want to insult the House managers. Make them feel like it was a waste of their time on their witch hunt. I mean, if you're going to, get a lynch mob together, at least make them feel like it was worthwhile. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank God. Thank
God
that this is going to be over with. Then they're going to try for the censure thing, which is not going to, that's going to fail. And then that'll be it. We can have a big celebration, a big President's Day celebration, appropriate enough over the weekend, and move on with life. And the TV networks will all have to find something new and exciting to deal with. Here's a mobile in Homestead. Hello.
Neil, God.
Yes?
Hey, Neil. Speaking of American Airlines, that garbage in the air, I had a business trip up to Atlanta Monday, and I'm stuck in Miami, by the way. I show up Monday. My flight's at 8. Show up. I said, let me show up a little early. Show up at 6. The line must be 40 deep. There's 2 purchasing agents. That's it. Everyone else just funneling around and screaming that their flight got canceled. And
yeah.
Go to somebody in charge. Do you mind opening up to someone else? I have to catch a flight. Oh, sir, that's all we have right now. We're taking care of the people from yesterday. Isn't that just great, huh?
Yeah.
What about the people from today?
And?
Okay, we'll get to you as soon as possible. Well, that's not as bad as coming back from Atlanta. Now, that was murder. I don't know if you ever been, you've been to Atlanta?
Many, many times, yes.
Yeah, that's
a nightmarish place, yes. The airport is a living nightmare.
Oh, God, that's just, I just want to give a story of American Airlines, that garbage in the sky.
Okay, thanks. I'm glad you had a good time. Thank you. Okay, we have an open line at Broward, all 3 in Dade. 5670560 and pound 560 on the mobile one line. Last call of the day. Here's a mobile in Boca. Hello. Mobile in Boca.
Hello, Neil.
Yes?
Just wanted to call. I love your show. I listen to you every day. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't listen to those Christian idiots.
Yeah. And?
Can I call Clyde an asshole?
Okay, well. Yesterday we really had him fired up and pissed off and foaming at the mouth, and little old me, like a schmuck that I usually am, I come in here today assuming that today is such a momentous day in the history of our goddamn lives. I thought these people would be just overflowing with stuff. Are they?
No.
They got nothing, baby. They got absolutely, positively nothing. They don't care about American Airlines. They don't care about Penisgate coming to an end. They don't care about anything. You name it, they can be oblivious to it. 5-6. Here's our last call, our last feeler, okay? Even that bitch that called yesterday, twice, not once, that was so incensed over the fact that I'm on the air, whatever she was upset. I still don't know what she was upset about, which I extended a special personal invitation for her to call back. Did she call yet?
No.
5670560, pound 560. Seriously, you folks are the slowest starters I have ever seen in my life. I've worked on, about a half a dozen stations in this market all these years, and the people, maybe it's that crossover thing. Maybe there's a much greater changing of the guard on this station than on IOD or wherever else. But, I mean, it's just unbelievable. You have to kick him into the seat of the pants. You have to browbeat him. You have to stick a big, sharp poker up there and just twist it and turn it and prod it to get any kind of movement out of these people. Man. Here's Miami. Hello.
Good morning, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How about American in Dallas? Is that a wonderful airport to go to?
That's another piece of crap where you can walk, by the way, about 500 miles between gates.
How about Moses could get through Israel faster?
How do you like that thing that takes you outside, by the way, the shuttle they have at American in Dallas? One time we were going to one of our Vegas excursions, and you're on that thing, and it's like being at Disney World, and
it's
you're
like
going round and round.
Where you go?
It's like you're going around the whole county before you get back inside the airport.
That is like one or two of the worst places to go ever.
Yeah,
in the airline.
You're right.
Take care and have a good weekend.
And back to you, sir. Yeah, I think we're going to take a survey on this. Is there a worse airline? We're pissed off at American right now, okay, even those of us who like their food. By the way, thank you very much for somebody who sent me Pavel Bure's rookie card. Man, look at that thing. With his Soviet outfit on, CCCP, which is SSSR in Ruski. Man, it's a good thing you don't look that good anymore. I'll tell you, people be talking. Here's Tamarack. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, how you doing?
Great.
Hey, in consecutive weeks, I was lucky enough to be in Spain and then in Colombia. And, they don't even care what happens over here with the president. The first thing on the people's mind in Spain was, when was the bombing going to stop in Iran?
Mm-hmm.
And
in Iran?
I'm sorry, in Iraq.
Yeah.
And the thing that was highest on the mind of people in Colombia is the, when it is that we're going to do more things with the drug trade. When I asked them about what's going on with our impeachment, they say, well, it doesn't really matter to us. What the president does is his own business. And
it doesn't matter to anybody with a brain, anybody who's not so sexually repressed and so immature as the American media anyway. And,
right, and I think the way it dominates our headlines, and it doesn't even show up until the third or fourth story. Sometimes it doesn't even show up at all on a given night in their TV. It's amazing, and our country really needs to take a look at what the hell's going on. Our
country needs to do one thing, sir: grow up.
Oh,
grow the hell up.
Absolutely. All right, Neil. Take it easy.
And maybe the country is growing up, but just the media and the politicians are just a tad slow, just a little bit behind the times. You think that's possible? Well, I sure can't wait till Monday night when Larry King sucks Linda Tripp's ass for an hour on CNN. I'm serious. I mean, I know that over the years he's probably never done more than 2 or 3 interviews where he really asked any significant hard questions other than just tossing his usual marshmallows because everybody's his good personal friend.
I've been doing this a long time.
Yeah, sucking ass, right. But if he brings that cow on there Monday night and sucks up to her and lets her get away with her bullcrap, if she was my daughter, if I had a daughter like Monica, I'd want somebody to do the same thing for her that I did for Monica. Right. Tape record the conversations, set her up with some right-wing attorney. I mean, of course, there's equal culpability here because, what was Monica doing sending Mommy the dress? All the way around. Sinister bitches, that's what we're talking about. And then they're saying, and he ruined her whole life. He ruined her life. This is some bitch that is going to make more from the selling of her book and the movie and her stories and her Baba Wawa interview. She's going to make more in the next month once this thing is over today than most of you are going to make in the next 10 years. Millions she's going to make. But he ruined her life. Fat slut. That's what you're dealing with. Lucien Goldberg, Linda Tripp, Monica Lewinsky. 3 fat sluts. 3 little pigs. 3 big fat. Yeah. Petunia pig, Porky S. pig, and whatever the other one might be. In fact, put all 3 of them in our contest, okay?
How to do a talk show.
Enough for the sulky.
Well, now, don't you tell me to lie. I love that Monica's big fat thighs. The star prosecutes I can't deny. I hate her big and hairy pie. Phew, yahoo, who knew? My presidential juice was squirted on you. Loving Monica on that oval tile. I rolled that 46 Willie style. Making out with Monica in my limo. I couldn't have picked a fatter bimbo. Feeling patriotic, got my flag cold smoke. I'm a old lord, she nearly choked. When she sucked down my big fat Willie, started to scream like a horny hillbilly. Hillary's mad, I'm down on my knees. It's to the whiskey adultery. It's to the whiskey, Monica Lewinsky. 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 Superstar report, I really can't cope. I'm the president, not the friggin' pope. The time is now and I'm coming clean. I like my boobies with cherries and cream. The boys on the hill say they may impeach. Or for getting sucked by that 2-timing leech. Time to hire a concrete cause he's legit. If she didn't spit, they must have quit. When my term is over, it's time to blow. I'm dropping Hillary like a hot potato. Never slip with Hillary, that's all I know. She's always getting busy with Janorino. Sick and tired of everyone calling me a bum. I might have got sucked, but I did not come. Scared to death, Monica taking the stand. Excuse me, General Bum, Afghanistan. Monica Lewinsky, it's the whiskey, Monica Lewinsky. 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 Stick of the cigar where it tends to stink. Your big dabbing box, your blackmailing wench. Oops, that's the sorry I stain your dress. Clean it, Beyonce was permanent press. I got a little secret, I'm ready to unzip. Saw Kenneth Starr doing Linda Tripp. Checking out the booties, I'm ready to pop. Alright, everybody, I'm letting my pants
Drop. 1046 at 560 WQAM. So our general manager, Greg Reed, was just down here moments ago, stuck his head in the door and said two very profound things. Number one, I hear my haircut sucks. And I said, yes, it sucks. And number two, this is incredible. Oh, and three things. Number two thing was the reason that the satellite dish upstairs for the guys up on the third floor is on the floor. It's the engineer's fault, which we've been hearing that right along. It's the engineer's fault. The dog done it. And number three, Sunday's his birthday. Seriously, now, I just want you to stop and think about this, because I already knew that ahead of time, and I wasn't going to really play it. Not that he's a decent guy, okay? I mean, I feel sorry for him when I see him, but he's not a bad guy. But, I mean, what kind of a person comes in and says, Sunday's my birthday, and looks at you there like with this, like, waiting, like, yeah, and I said, happy birthday, you know. I mean, after you get to a certain point in life, does it really make any difference that it's your birthday?
No.
You're praying that the next one takes like twice as long before it shows up. Hey, George, November 5th is my birthday.
I knew that.
Oh, just in case you forgot. Strange. He's a little bit bizarre. But nevertheless, we're kicking ass. We're making money hand over fist here is what he told me. We had a gigantic January. And I said to him, well, if that's the case, how come that dish is sitting on the floor upstairs? And they don't have like a real TV to watch it on. And he ran out of here. Here's a mobile in Sunrise. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Okay, sir.
I'm going to miss the passing of this whole impeachment thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like a hobby now. It's like OJ.
It's a good reason to change the channel.
Uh-huh.
You know there's not going to be any nudity, so you can just continue to scroll through. But on the other hand, I got to say that I'm a front-running phony. I've held season tickets for like 4 years.
Yeah.
I went to that.
Just imagine if you were spending all that money on tickets, you could probably get a real phone. But anyway.
Oh, I apologize. Hold on a second. I'll fix something up.
Oh, that's brutal. That's phone.
Like,
huh?
How's this? Is that better?
There you go. A little bit better.
You like it when I pick it up. But I saw that Leafs game. I'm sure you were there for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
You saw what game?
The Toronto Maple Leafs.
Oh, this is the guy with a fanny pack. That's why he was doing that, trying to disguise his voice. Get out of here. You're a pest. You're a pain. Oh, my God, it's the chronic starting again. Can you believe that? That's the guy with a goddamn fanny pack. The so-called security guard over there in the Mac Arena who came and crouched down and by me between periods and breathed bad breath in my face for like 10 minutes and couldn't get rid of him. Jesus. 2 open lines in Dade, 5670560 and pound 560 on the mobile one line. Man, oh man. Some days I come in here and I just feel like I'm covered with maggots, you know? It's a very, horrible thing, like waking up in the middle of the night and discovering maggots crawling all over your body. That's the way I sometimes feel with these calls. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Neil, good morning.
Yes, sir.
How are you today?
Okay.
I just wanted to give you a little spy report. I do a lot of phone sales and receive a lot of solicitation. And I got a call yesterday from the Christian Coalition.
Yes.
And they were looking for some handouts, and I told them, no, I'm sorry, I listened to Rogers.
Yeah.
Exactly. So as soon as I said your name, they were pretty much didn't have a lot to say after that.
It was probably click real fast.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to be flying out of here next week on American Airlines on Friday. So I guess I should start
checking the other airlines is what I would do if you really want to get where you're going.
Well, are they gonna the other airlines going to honor my tickets, or?
No. Of course not.
I'm just at SOL.
Yeah, but you don't now, what are these? Are these like special fare tickets or something?
Well, no, I mean, they were bought in advance. I bought them.
But if you, in other words, unless it's some kind of a special fare, you have a year. Some airlines, it's 2 years to use those. So if you just cancel your reservations, you can just use the same tickets later on.
And you could just change the dates?
Right. You just swap them in for wherever else you're going, right?
I gotcha.
In fact, if I were you, I would call up American immediately, if not sooner, and find out what what the deal is on that, because it all depends on the fare that you paid. Some are like what is it? Well, I mean, even non-refundable, you can still use them later on.
Non-transferable.
Non-exchangeable or something. Exactly, something. Right. So call them up and find out, tell them what kind of ticket you got, and in likelihood you can use them later on instead of gambling away your chances that are going to solve this next week. Because I wouldn't.
Yeah, actually, my mother flew out on American to New York a few days ago.
Yeah.
She got to the airport like at 4 a.m.
Nice.
because she knew what to expect, and they I guess they threw her onto a United flight up to New York, and So it's basically, you show up and hopefully
Well,
someone.
if that's the way you want to do it, be my guest. I don't travel that way. I'm not going to go there and hold my breath and hope that maybe they get me on another airline. I'm going to make reservations on another airline and then tell them cancel the tickets and I'll use them 6 months from circus.
Yeah, I'm with you, buddy.
Okay, good luck, pal.
Thank you.
There you go. Another poor bastard at American is screwing up his life. I'm going to say it again. When you've only got a few days here and a few days there and you're trying to plan your life so you might get a little bit of enjoyment out of it, and some goddamn airline like American doesn't care enough about their customers to do whatever it takes to get this resolved, I would say screw them is what I would say. I would say I don't think I'm going to be flying them anytime again soon in the near future. In fact, you know what I'm going to do right now? Because I'm so porked off, and it hasn't affected me or anybody I know. Maybe I don't have that card in my pocket. I bet I got it in my wallet right now. Let's see. Do I got it? Where the hell is it? Oh, I got a lot of crap in this wallet. Here it is right here. Here's my A Advantage card. My frequent flyer A Advantage card on American Airlines. Pretty chintzy card, too. You know, all the other airlines, Delta and Air Canada, every other airline, they send you like a real plastic card. This is what they send you, like a little piece of paper. And I'm cutting, what? I just sliced it up with my scissors here, and I will not be using American again. They can go to hell. They don't go anywhere that I need to go with them. There isn't anywhere that they go that there aren't plenty of other airlines. And yes, they do have better food, but sometimes I'll eat my own food. Cool. There you go. Right in the old wastebasket. And, how many miles could I have on their frequent flyer? Screw it. They can have them with my pleasure. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
How are you today? Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks for making your call.
I got a question for you.
Yes.
With all the media outrage today and the screaming and the shrine,
Yes?
why haven't they outed Hillary Clinton yet?
Oh, Janet Reno's going to be doing that next week once this blows over.
Yeah, I mean, isn't it pretty obvious? Isn't that the reason why the president's going out with everything that walks?
14 years they haven't had no relations, sir. 14 years they haven't even touched it.
How do you know? That's true, isn't it?
That's what it says in the Star. Those tabloids, they know their crap, man.
Yeah, well, maybe we can out her here in Miami.
Now, if you had the ice princess that you were married to, and, you'd have to get it somewhere, right?
I wouldn't marry that thing.
Okay, have a great day, sir. What about Chelsea?
Crap.
Open line in poor Chelsea. Poor Chelsea. And those poor kids, the royal family with their billions of dollars. What are we going to do? They lost their mother. Seriously, the people in the media, the people who control the media, they are crazy. They are certifiable. They need to be put away for a very, very long time. By the way, what a great piece on CBC last night, which I'm sure nobody else in town saw. I taped it while I was at the track on the history of Maple Leaf Gardens. God, was that great. On the big dish. See, if you got the big dish, you get to actually see stuff. If you don't have a satellite dish, you're screwed. 10:54. I'm going to move this stuff way ahead because we got to open up some time there in the next half hour. We're getting really close, boys and girls. We're getting close to the big vote. Oh, strap yourselves in. We'll carry it right here. You'll be hearing and that stuff.
It's Friday, you bastard.
A blue stained dress.
Squirt, squirt.
And some information. All wrapped up nice for Kenneth Starr. This evidence will be Ken's salvation in protecting us from illegal blowjob.
All right.
Joe McCarthy would be proud on how Kenny shakes him down. He owes a lot to Tail Gunner Joe, who was a drunk and a flaming homo. A blue stained dress and some information.
Yes.
For right-wing Nazis, Kenny Starr.
It's 11 o'clock right on the nose here at 560 WQAM, the Hank Goldberg Show at 2. We got Kim Bokamper 6 to 10 tonight because the Bookster was working his fat ass off this morning. 10 o'clock tonight at Kaplan with a gambling show. Here's a fax from Bob who says, Neil, I just got my brand new little dish, and you are absolutely correct, sir. It makes cable look like complete crap. Haven't I been telling you that for years, that you get a little dish and you realize cable picture is
crap?
Told you that. Bob says, I don't know if this is a sign, but as soon as I activated my dish, the first movie I watched on it was Fatso. How do you like that? First movie that popped up on there was Fatso.
Get the honey, Junior.
He says it was a miracle from...
Oh, God.
Okay, Bob, glad you're enjoying your little dish. I don't know how much I have to... I mean, I have no vested interest. I don't have stock in any company that manufactures them. I don't have anybody that's selling them. I mean, other than our friends at Appliance TV Depot, but they sell a lot of other stuff, too. Everybody and their brother is selling them. You've got to get yourself a little dish, okay? I mean, they're relaxing the restrictions more and more, even if you live in the middle of those condo commandos. If you got your own property and can stick it on there, even inside your patio. If you got a screened-in patio, you can stick it in there. So just about anybody and everybody in America ought to have like a little dish, and they're cheap as hell. And you get to watch all this great stuff and a beautiful, real picture instead of watching the fuzzy crap from the cable company that one day it's not too bad, some days it might be pretty good, and other days it looks like crap.
The DSS is hooked up. They're running the wires now. It'll be ready
all
by the time
right.
Hank comes
It'll
on.
be ready when?
By the time Hank comes on.
By the time Hank comes on today, it'll be ready in the dish, too. How do you like that? They're working on it feverishly as I speak.
That was funny.
Yeah. So there you go, Fatso. They're working on it right now. Now, if you guys upstairs would butch up a little bit and get them to put in like a real TV instead of a little 3-inch monitor they got, then you'd have something like a real studio. I mean, he comes down here telling me about what a great January the station had, and we're kicking ass and all the money that's coming in. And I said to him, well, how come that thing is sitting on a box on the floor there up there and they don't have all the stuff they need to do a show? Oh, it's the engineers. It's the engineer. You know, see, that's the thing that really gets me. I mean, you know that those guys aren't making what you call a lot of money in this place. They're not overpaid, the engineers. And they're only worked like 28 and 30 hours a day. And no matter what goes on, no matter how much he expects them to do the impossible in a very minimal amount of time, he's got the chutzpah to go around a building blaming them. Oh, don't blame me. It's the engineers. You know, I'm not cheap. Right. And it's Monday, too, right? Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello. Mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Going once. Going twice. Long gone. 18 minutes they hung on for that. What a waste of our money. Here's a mobile in the Gables. Hello.
Hey, Neil. Good morning.
Yes,
How are you?
Great.
You know, my dish, when it first came out, plus installation, was almost $800. Now,
that's right.
It's like a tenth of that. They're almost nothing.
They practically give them away now. That's
and,
right.
They'll do installation free. Anyone
Like
that
any other
doesn't get
electronics gadget, when VCRs came out, the first VCR I bought was $1,100. That's right.
That's right.
Now you go out and for like $99 or $150, you buy a pretty good VCR.
And most of the time, on the most of the days, the best cable picture is just average. So it really is, 4 months bill and it's paid for itself. I just had a question last night. I thought it was a good effort, good defensive effort.
I didn't see it. I was at the track.
Good.
And I'm so
Good
glad you
effort.
reminded me, by the way. I'm trying to watch in between races some of the hockey game. I did see we were ahead 3-1. And then all of a sudden, Sports Channel on the system up there at Pompano Park just craps out, and they have the sign on there, the thing that comes on, like if you want to watch this stuff, call this number. I guess their subscription ran out, and then they went off to some other channel. And
No,
then
we
came
got
back again.
We got a little help from the post and the crossbar, but
Yeah.
they only count when they go in.
Did Burke play last night?
No, McLean was in.
McLean played and they beat Ottawa last night?
Yes.
Oh my.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Wow.
What are you going to do? I just had one other question. We'll get out of here. Did Audette want out of Buffalo?
Yes.
He did.
Oh yeah.
Well, did you see any replay of the Kings last night? 3 goals in 3 minutes.
I didn't even know who won the game. The Kings in Philly. That was the late game.
The Kings. They won in overtime. Yeah.
So Philly has lost 2 in a row?
That's it.
All right. That's the best
All right.
news of the century.
Good luck in Montreal.
Thanks a lot. Okay, there you go. We have an open line in Dade, 567-0560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. So Philly, sooner or later, everybody gets theirs. The Flyers lose 2 in a row. I got to get this story in before this other stuff starts. Well, I'll get to it a little later. Rape ruling sparks protest in Italy. Women legislators wore jeans to Parliament in Rome on Thursday, and Italy's highest appeals court was accused of sexism after ruling it is impossible to rape a woman wearing jeans.
Oh!
That's right. That's what they said. That the Italian parliament says if a woman is wearing tight jeans, you can't possibly rape her. She must be cooperating to get those pantalones down there. Otherwise, it still can't be rape. Why? Why are you snickering? See, you've never been to Europe. They tend to be sexist. They whistle at women on the streets. They do that in Rome. They do it in Amsterdam. They do it in most of the cities over there.
Don't they still do that pinching thing in Italy?
Yeah, they like to pinch an inch. But that don't necessarily have anything to do with women. We have an open line in Dave. That's why I like to go there. 567-0560, pound 560, kind of like fit right in with the surroundings, so to speak. Pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. We're watching. There's Bob Franken, who's been on CNN over and over and over again these last 13 months going, pop, 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 pop. Yeah, come on, Bob. He's bobbing for it. Any minute now, they're going to be coming back from their closed-door speeches. They're going to open it up again, And then they're going to be voting on Article 1, Article 2, and they're going to be voting.
No.
The only question is, it's not a question of if, it's a question of by how much, as Bob Green would say. And we'll put it right here live on the air so you can hear everyone. That'll kill some good time, too, by the way. Give me a chance to sit back here, think about lunch. Here is Miami Springs. Hello.
Hello, Neo.
Yes.
How you doing?
Great.
Good. I know you didn't see the game last night, but it was a really good overall effort.
Great. Excellent. It's about time.
McLean actually looked good in net.
This team's got to win some games without Pavlov Bury, I'll tell you that
We
right
were
now.
outshot like 25-17. We won 3-1.
Yeah.
3 goals on 7 shots.
17 shots, huh?
You know Peter Worrell got one last
Yes,
night, right?
I did see that. The big black guy named Peter.
Unbelievable.
Uh-huh.
Anyway.
Now they're going to be making a big case for him, man. He's a sniper is what I hear.
Yeah, instead of Pavel Bure, we got Peter. Linda Tripp. Tell me she's not the nastiest pig of a
Yeah.
bitch that you've
That's
ever
our
seen.
poll question today, by the way. Is there any heterosexual guy in this audience who would touch Linda Tripp with the...
No.
Oh, the thought of that is so
I wouldn't
grotesque.
touch her with your thing.
I mean, if you could be horny, you could have, been in prison for like 15 years, and you wouldn't touch her, like you said, with anybody else's.
Also, one other thing before I go.
Yes.
I just found out a little while ago that I'm moving to Detroit.
Yes?
If I wanted to get a little dish, I know I'm getting one to see my Panther games. Which
Yes,
one's
sir?
the best that gets the Florida Sports Channel? Which system? Is it USSB?
No, that's not. It's on DirecTV.
DirecTV,
USSB is only movies.
Okay.
DirecTV.
Gotcha.
And then you just take your dish and stick it in your pocket and take it with you.
Excellent.
Okay, good luck, pal.
Thank you.
Okay, there's a guy that's going to Detroit. I'm so sorry. I mean, I'm so sorry to hear that for his sake. We have an open line of date. I mean, years ago, boy, that was a place, man. Pre-1967. Then they had the riots and they burned half the city down. And as they redid downtown a little bit. They had the Renaissance. Did that ever make a comeback?
No.
It's gotten worse and worse and worse. And you go back there and you look at the neighborhoods that used to be where all the wealthy people used to live. And now, oh my God, like Palmer Park and Palmer Woods. And you say, this can't possibly be like this. This is a gigantic slum where millionaires used to live. But anyway, he's going, we're not. 5670560, pound 560 on it. And here, by the way, Jeff Greenfield, here is a man perfect for CNN because they don't want to be accused of being, like one-sided. So they got a guy on there who's like their resident curmudgeon who says absolutely nothing. Words come out of his mouth, but he says absolutely nothing. Well, maybe this and maybe that. And he's like just Casper Milquetoast. I mean, he just absolutely doesn't really say much of anything. Jeff Greenfield. Embarrassing. And there's that Frank Sesno who's still disgusted by the filth of this whole thing and that dress and the semen stain. Yeah, yuck. Let's see, where are we going? Here's a mobile in Boca. Hello.
Yeah, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I'm real happy, that these Senate hearings are ending now. Now Clinton can get back to the real business of America.
Yeah.
Like screwing Israel, emaciating the military, taxing the piss out of everybody, expanding the welfare state.
Yeah.
Spending our money on
none of the above which is done, but I'm glad you got some of it out of your system. Okay, none of the above which he's done. He hasn't expanded the welfare state. But anyway, two open line. And by the way, as far as the Middle East is concerned, how many peace treaties have we had? Like 500 since the last 20, 30 years. Is it ever going to mean anything?
No.
So forget about it. 5670560 and pound 560 on it. See, there's one of the 30%. There's one of the immovable, intractable 30%. If Clinton knocked on his door right now and had $1 million in small bills and cash, he'd still, he'd say thank you. He wouldn't even say thank you. He'd just say he's an asshole. But he'd take it anyway. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, man, but quite frankly, you're full of crap. 9 minutes after 11 at QAM. Our
As prosecutor for the fright, you're like a Nazi from the old Third Reich.
Yes.
Up Clinton's anus to find anything, like women who like it in between. What's your problem, Kenny Starr?
Oi.
Don't you think you've gone too far?
No.
Everybody thinks you are like Joseph McCarthy. Did you know that Joe McCarthy was gay?
Yes.
The kind of life you can't accept he never made. He kept Roy Cohn close by his side until he got fired when Brogan died. What's your problem, Kenny Starr? It's too bad Edward Murrow's gone. He would want to take you on like Joseph McCarthy. Creep, 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 oi!
Greet, boy.
11:15 at 560 WQAM. We have an open line. Boca Brian's the best, by the way. Just thought I would mention that for his big fan out there. Open line in Broward, 5670560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Okay, they're at the White House, hocking and chatting. Everybody is in breathless anticipation. We just had Wolf Blitzkrieg on there. Now we got this Pudwacker on again. Here's Miami. Hello.
Okay, we got it. Thank you.
We got it. You got it? Here's Miami. Hello. That was good. Was that good or was that good, huh? That was great. They're potchking around. See, you people don't have your priorities right. Whatever she's got there, unless it was Dick Clark and Ed McMahon or some other dick knocking on the door with a $10 million check, your priorities are all screwed up, sweetheart. Get back with it. 2 open lines a day, 5670560, pound 560. And you notice, by the way, that bitch, now you know she's listening, the one who called her yesterday and then tried to call a second time. You know damn well that she's listening. She couldn't turn it off if you held a gun to her head. But she won't call back because she can't explain what she's all upset about. And I just keep wondering, what is wrong with the humorless women in this town? Why are there so many prissy, uptight, humorless bitches in this town? Oh, well, my wife, my girlfriend, she just hates you. Why? What is it that she can't stand? What can't she handle? Is she some kind of a simpering twit? Is that it? Twit, I said. Here's Miami. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
You know, if you take Linda Tripp and you rearrange the words, you get big, fat, smelly bitch.
Yeah.
And I wanted to know, since you're a movie buff, who would you cast in this movie that's going to come out with the main characters? I can only
Candy Crowley would be a Linda Tripp.
Yeah. I only got Natalie from The Facts of Life playing Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah.
But I just want to see your opinion on that. Thanks a lot.
Okay, have a great life. Whatever you said. Yeah, Candy Crowley from CNN. She's big enough to be Linda. We have 2 open lines in date, 5670560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Let's get the show on the road up there in D.C., for Christ's sakes. Let's get with it. These guys got planes to catch today, and hopefully for them, not on American. Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hi, Neil. How you doing?
Okay, sir.
I think after today, this February 12th should be named be a holiday. Billy gets off day.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Squirt, squirt.
And as far as anybody that feels sorry for that bitch, Monica Lewinsky, how could anybody in their right mind say that her life is ruined?
That fucking bitch.
She's made more money since this has started than I probably will make in the next 20 years.
I just can't stand that slut.
Yeah.
And then there's that and then they haven't even got into Linda Tripp yet, how much money that bitch is going to make. And it just fries.
I mean, the way that they're you notice this is part of the media's refusal not to let go now. Now they're going to exploit all of the people who have had to be silent until this thing was over with. Now Lucianne Goldberg is going to come back, talk about a fat slob out of the woodwork, and Linda Tripp is she's lined up with Larry King Monday. She's making the rounds this weekend already, and they're all going to be, they'll drag this on until they got every last drop of blood out of it they can.
Oh, it's brutal. And in closing, Neil?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to be the best man to Andy and Greg's wedding.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Have a good time. Okay, he's going to be the pivot man at their wedding. We have an open line in day 1 in Broward, 5670560. That'll be a blessed event. We made a shit-off on this show, and as soon as George heard that, he peed in his pants. 5670560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Yep, there's Judy Woodruff and Bernie Shaw with that grim look on his face, and they're all still sitting there, and Frank Sesno and Jeff Greenfield, and they're still sitting there and sitting there. They probably got piles from sitting there so long in those same goddamn chairs, weeks and months on end. I don't think they've even gone home. Get this damn thing over with. Let's get the vote. Let's get over with and move on with life. Let's have an orgy up there. Here's a mobile in Boca. Hello.
God?
Yes, sir. Speaking.
Neil, God. Yes, absolutely correct. Randy Moeller was commenting and using your drop last night in his commentary, by the way.
My drop about what?
Well, he kept saying, absolutely correct, sir.
Really?
To Christina. And Christina's busting his chops and wasting game time while the game's playing, commenting on Moeller eating a goddamn hot dog. I can't stand having to listen to those guys. I'm always on the road now.
What do you expect from a moron?
That's right. How about Worrell getting a goal last night,
Didn't see it, though. Yeah, that really's got me sold. Not.
Yeah. I saw it on the highlights. He was jumping up and down. He couldn't believe
He
it went
still
in.
can't skate and he still can't play, but he's got 2 goals now, and these people that don't understand the game, boy, they're sold. They probably got their blow-up dolls for this weekend now.
There you go. I love that rape ruling in Italy, man. That's great.
That's right.
That's unreal. Next thing you know, they're going to be blaming gun makers for gun crimes.
If they're wearing a tight thing, then they got to wiggle it off themselves, and they want it.
See.
And have a great day. Arrivederci. If we go on like this, every woman that doesn't wear a chastity belt will have the right to be raped, said Sonia Viale of Parliament's Equal Opportunities Commission. The Court of Castration ruled on Wednesday it is impossible to take off tight pants like jeans without the cooperation of the person wearing them, and it said it is impossible if the victim is struggling. The decision overturned the 1998 conviction of a driving instructor in southern Italy, Carmine Cristiano, 45, for raping an 18-year-old student. A lower court had sentenced Cristiano to 2 years and 8 months in prison, but the appeals court said the girl must have consented to sex and sent the case back for retrial. She had tight pantalones. The court also questioned why the victim, identified only as Rosa, waited several hours to tell her parents she'd been attacked. It could be seen as a manual for aspiring rapists, the Rome Daily Il Messaggero said in a front-page story. Jeans and alibi for rape, read a sign held up in Parliament by 5 jeans-clad legislators. Alessandra Mussolini, a deputy of the Rightist National Alliance who led Thursday's protest, said, women are already scared of reporting rapes. This just makes it even worse. Protesting legislators called on women all over Italy to join a skirt strike and wear jeans, and the anchor of a popular TV show known for her chic dresses donned a pair of denims. We thank the court for having enriched women's wardrobes with a new garment. To the business suit and little black dress, we can now add the anti-rape outfit, a comfortable and resistant pair of jeans, said union official Stefano Sidoli. Only in Italy, baby. They just tend to be a little on the sexist side over there. As in, screw the bitch, get her back in the kitchen, and let's get some pasta out here, huh? Fast, bitch. We have an open line in Broward, 2 and Dade, 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Neil.
Yes.
How are you?
Okay.
I just wanted to tell you I'm not an uptight woman, and I love you.
Oh, you're the one, huh?
I'm the.
Yeah, we got about 20 or 30 of them out
you
there.
Got lots. You got lots.
The rest of them all hate me like poison.
You keep me entertained every day. I mean, weekends are great, but they only suck because I can't get to hear you.
Mm-hmm.
But someone called in the other day and said how they could get your radio station inside a building.
Oh, I don't want to go through that. You don't want to go through all that bull crap. Believe me.
It costs a lot of BS.
No, it's just I don't want to go through the whole deal. Forget about it.
Oh, but that's the only thing. I can't get you inside the building when I'm working.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've tried 10 different radios.
Well, tilt it on its side. On the radio too.
Okay.
Have a great weekend.
Can I call someone a douchebag?
Yeah.
Forrest, you're a gourmet club fucking douchebag.
Okay.
Love you, Neil.
See ya.
Bye.
Open line at Dade 1 in Broward, 567. We're watching. Frank Sesno was there. He's going, ba, 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 ba. I guess we better do a break. I mean, I'm sorry that we have to do this, but, we got to move things along here because any minute now, any hour, any time now, sometime between now and next Sukkot, they might actually go back there and vote on this goddamn thing and get it over with. They just can't, they just can't seem to get it together.
There's no facts in the church.
There once was a man named Bill who lived on Capitol Hill. He gave me a dress and made it a mess, and I kept it under my bed in my house. Nah, that's no good. Okay, let's see. All right. Roses are red. The White House is white. I signed in the logbook one night. No, that's no good either. Hickory dickory dock. The president showed me his. No, that's no good. Okay, I got it. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, Bill got naked, except for my blouse. My parents were nestled, all snug in their bed, while I was giving the president. No, that's no good either.
11:28 at 560 WQAM. We're getting real close. Any moment now, any second, you're going to hear that sound, which means that they just came back into the chamber. They actually said on CNN that they would open the doors for a while to let it kind of air out. because Ted Kennedy had a real batch of something last night, some bad grits, which gave him the something that rhymes with grits, or maybe that was a Strom Thurmond. At any rate, there's Big Fat Candy Crawley who's going to be playing Linda Tripp in the movie. You know, I was saying to George, I was saying this jokingly, of course, because I know where our priorities are in this radio station. With this vote coming up imminently, any minute now, I was saying, well, maybe we'll have to knock out a commercial break here so we can carry it like uninterrupted. Now, it's interesting, if it was the Jimmy Johnson press conference, which you'll recall, that faker, that phony, who showed the Panthers what a power play is really all about, if it were him with his frosted silver hair, then, of course, here on the sports station, we would knock out as many breaks, as many spots. We'd put them on, 10 weeks from Purim some other time. Because we don't want to interrupt something important like some sports press conference. But this is only, a vote on the impeachment, the removal of the President of the United States. Do we care about that here on your sports, on your jockstrap station?
No.
Enough to, eliminate spots?
No.
Damn straight we don't. Oh, by the way, and since the Pompano spot's coming up in a couple of minutes, and I don't want to, do it right on the heels of that, but very close. If my close friend Ted Snell's listening up there at Pompano, which I notice you're conspicuous by your absence lately, wouldn't it be nice for those of us on the 6th floor in the dining room, especially those groups of very elderly people like you had there last night, if we'd have a betting window open, like even just one during the week, like last night? You talk about shooting yourselves in the foot. They've got all the windows on the one side where most of us sit, closed. And if you want to make a bet, you got to schlep all the way down to the other end. And most of those people are lucky if they can get up out of their seat. So it's like holding up a big sign saying, you don't really want to make a bet, do you?
No.
You just want to eat a meal and get out of here, right? But they do have those doo-wop singers again. Oh, my God. Thank God they didn't come by my table. I just looked the other way and I kept saying, keep walking. The doo-wop singers. That's going to really bring people out to the track, isn't it?
No.
Oh, man. What is with these people? What is with this town? This thinking. Just one window, that would be nice for all of those of us who sit down at that end of the clubhouse in the dining room and lend our tangible support by plunging our brains out. How does that sound, Ted? How about it? Come on. Okay, Senate votes on articles of impeachment are expected shortly. So is Sukkot, for Christ's sakes. Who the hell is this bitch? Oh, Pat Harrison, the Republican National Committee co-chairwoman. I can't even begin to imagine what she's going to say. Here's a mobile in Davie. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Something's been ticking me off, and I want to get your opinion on it. Why is it that the broadcasting stations feel that they have to get these ex-athletes, these illiterate buffoons, to broadcast games and do analysis? I mean, it's ridiculous. There's so many now. Brett Musburger and Bob Costas, these guys obviously went to school. They're professionals. They're good to listen to. Sure, they never played the game, but I can't stand it.
Yeah.
Huh?
Dumb jock.
That's where it's at, man. It's a jockocracy.
They just add to the mystique that these guys are stupid. All of them got these educations.
No, it's not a mystique. It's a fact. It's not. There's nothing mysterious about it. It's a fact. Most of them are illiterate and uneducated, and they had nothing. They can't. Like Denise Potvin, there's a classic example. Adds nothing to anybody's understanding of the game. No insight. No nothing.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Saw a 12-inch monster at the beach yesterday. Could never believe it. The whole beach was talking about this guy. I mean, from two or three blocks around, everyone was talking about. Looked like he stuffed a snake in a case.
Okay, well, say hi to Defo for us. I knew he was hanging around somewhere. We have an open line in Broward 2 and Dade, 5670560, pound 5. Great, excellent, good call. 2 open lines. Too bad I didn't get on the air. 2 open lines in Dade, 2 in Broward. You notice again another asshole who thinks that if he says it fast enough, like that, then it gets on the air. Does that help?
No.
Saying it real fast like that?
No.
No, it doesn't work. Sorry, pal. You'll have to come up with some better idea, okay? Something to enrich your pathetic little life. 27 till noon. We're still waiting on it. We're still waiting. We're holding our collective breaths. I can see there's tremendous excitement in this audience about this, right?
No.
None. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Hank Goldberg with satellite dish between 2 and 6 this afternoon.
Oh!
Kim Bokamper 6 to 10. Ed Kaplan. Eddie K is going to be excited about it because he'll be able to watch. Well, that all depends on what they get on the. I should take that back. I mean, it's one thing that they're putting the dish in. It's be another thing depending on what packages they subscribe to, like maybe the sports packages. Let's not get carried away, okay? I mean, Rome wasn't built in a day. See, when Greg Reed comes down here and starts that crap about, well, it's the engineer's fault. See, I hate to break the news to you, but like in a real radio station, what they do, like when Paxson And, I mean, calling them real, that tells you a lot about this place. When we were making the move from the old IOD into the other building out there on Sheridan Street, what did they do? They went out and they hired contract engineers who weren't really full-time on staff, but guys who were very, very capable, who came in and were paid by the hour to do an emergency job and worked there 24 hours a day, round the clock, and got everything ready so that we were on the air and it was all in there.
They had like 7 of them.
Right. What a concept. And they wouldn't have needed 7. They would have needed just 1 or 2 here to be, working around the clock feverishly to get that thing done right upstairs and get the TV in and get the dish in and like have it all ready to rock and roll for people to go on here and do a radio show. What a concept. I mean, to be on the one hand talking about how we're kicking ass and all this money is flowing through this place, and then on the other hand continuing to try to defend the cheapness of the mentality up there, which you can't even afford like a real haircut. Do you know that no, seriously, you want to know why his hair looks so bad? He has Sam with like a little scissors. In fact, they're just like these. Sam douchebag. In fact, that's probably Sam's main job here. Once a month, Sam goes up with like a little pair of scissors with a blue handle like these and trims Greg's hair. There's a little trim going on as we speak in that orifice. That's why he looks so bad. It's 11:35 at 560 WQAM. There's Elizabeth Holtzman, Democrat. Good lady. There you go. She's a real good liberal from New York. Oh! There you go. Jewish liberal. This is the way we like him on this show. All you rednecks out there can't handle it, can you? Too bad.
It just keeps getting bigger.
You're a political whore. You're a political whore.
When people ask me who, I would like to prove. Now that I'm a political whore,
you're a political whore.
I tell them right away, I'd like a one-night stay up in the White House behind closed doors. I wanna be Billy girl. I wanna be Billy girl with my legs waving in the breeze. 'Cause if I was Billy girl, if I was Billy girl, I could be a piece of history. I'll call his hotline phone, tell him I'm all alone, and I'm turned on by his cellulite.
You're a political whore.
And if he won't have me, then I'll ask Hillary. But I would rather make it all 3. I wanna be Billy's girl. I wanna be Billy's girl. With my legs waving in the breeze. 'Cause if I was Billy's girl, if I was Billy's girl, I could be a piece of history. Oh! I wanna be Billy's girl. I wanna be.
It's 11:41 at 560. Guess what, by the way? Senate votes on articles of impeachment are expected shortly.
Oh!
You believe it?
No.
Well, we're waiting. They're still going, ba, 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 ba. In fact, Frank Sesno just said, Jesus Christ, isn't this over with yet? I mean, how much are these guys supposed to say? We've already heard this 45,272,000,000 times. A couple of great faxes, by the way. One from Jim in Sunrise, who says, Miami Heat coach Pat Riley today traded star guard Tim Hardaway for Monica Lewinsky. Now the whole team sucks.
Oh!
Not bad. George don't understand that. He don't know Timmy Hardaway from Penny Hardaway from Pennies from Heaven. But anyway, here's the best fax of the year so far. The fat fax. It says, the Jeff High problem. Attention, Neil Rogers. Dear Neil, I've been an avid listener / fan of yours since I was in high school, going on 15 years now. Never have I once questioned your superior intellect and decision-making during that time. However, for the first time, this has come into question. I've been a neighbor of Jeff and Judy High for almost 4 years now. I live right next door. Since Mr. High has moved in, the neighborhood has turned from a quiet, peaceful area into a loud, obnoxious, fat fest of beer, excessive eating, and loud, screeching yells around the block. During his tenure in our Pembroke Pines neighborhood, I've become a friend of their family. It really wasn't my choice. Fatso kept coming over to my house. I'm invited over to his house for all occasions, Christmas, New Year's, birthdays, and at these occasions I've witnessed some of the most disgusting displays of poor eating habits and bad hygiene. Ask Jeffy Boy to take his 2 front teeth out for you. Were you aware of that? That he has...
I didn't know they were removable.
Oh, my...
Remember what they used to look like?
Yes. Mr. High almost killed my 2-year-old son by accidentally sitting his fat, tub-o-lard body on top of him one evening. He squeezed the life out of my boy. It was like watching a Mack truck run over a frog and all the guts spilling out. Mr. High is constantly borrowing stuff from my house. The son of a bitch freeloader borrowed my ladder, and when it came back, almost every rung on the ladder was bent inward. You know what it's like for a Jewish family to sit at a Christmas dinner while Jeff High and the family say their prayers? That fat hypocrite is probably thinking about the porno on his computer. As far as his eating habits go, I've seen him put salad dressing on pizza by the gallons, eat sardines in one hand with chocolate cake in the other. Worse yet, he will pull his shorts down while outside, exposing the fattest ass that I've ever seen. He walks with a different limp every week, so I have to help bring him groceries in the house. Please fire Jeff High. It says maybe if he loses his job and has to eat at Camilla's house for food, he'll lose some of that blubber. Signed, David. Wonderful facts, David. Thanks for making our life worthwhile. Pally. We have an open line at Broward 2 and Dade, 5670560. Now, does he pull that with everybody, or is that a special thing that I get? That Pally. How you doing, Pally?
Everybody.
Everybody. Now I feel not so special. 5670560 and pound 560 on the AT&T line. We're vamping here, man. We're just killing some time waiting for these goddamn 100 goofballs up there to get with the program. This is supposed to be big, heavy-duty stuff today. Here's Miami Beach. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Neil?
Okay.
I have something more about Sam the douchebag. Well, Sam used to be a promoter for Buying 96 before, and he used to host a show over at South Beach.
Yeah.
Where he used to call the Hot Body Contest.
Mm-hmm.
For, okay.
Which I'm sure did not include his, yes.
Okay. Well, he used to make these little girls take their clothes off for either a price of $150,
mm-hmm.
and when they refused, he used to encourage them. He used to literally take their clothes off for them,
mm-hmm.
and I just thought that was a disgusting thing for a grown man like Sam to be doing.
That's Sam. Now you're catching on.
Okay, sir.
Thanks for the good news. There goes Sam the Sham, who right at this moment has given our general manager a little trim. Got that scissors going upstairs with that faggy Roman haircut that he walks around with and everybody's laughing at. Open line in Broward, all three in Dade, 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Poor Candy Crowley, man. We're intruding on her eating time. Even she's got to go, ba, 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 ba. I mean, they're just desperate. Like, when are they going to get this thing going already? Which, quite frankly, I feel exactly the same way. You know, the big build-up and like, okay already, okay, let's go. Let's get on with it. And then they're saying like about an hour after they finish with the votes on the two articles, Bubba's going to be speaking. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Neil Gott.
Yes, speaking.
You are the voice of reason in South Florida. Just a couple of quick comments on some subjects. I love your comments on the useless NBA. Love your comments on the proceedings that are going on now with President Clinton. I enjoyed your comment earlier with your caller when you were cutting up your American Airlines call.
Yeah.
How
come these other pussies out there aren't calling in about American Airlines and pledging not to fly them again and be put in this position and have their whole lives disrupted? This is a bunch of crap.
Someone else made the reservation for me. I'm flying home to Canada to see my mother and grandmother on Wednesday night on American Airlines. I haven't flown them in a long time.
Oh, my God.
My mother had taken care of making the reservations. I called her up last night or 2 nights ago. She's flying Air Canada from California, but she's got me on American.
Well, what does that tell you about what she thinks of you? Yeah.
I said, I'll tell you, I hope I see you, and if I don't see you, bring me back some bagels or whatever.
I would demand a quick look at that will real soon if I were you, because I guarantee your name ain't in it.
No, I made it. There's no problem there. I drew that one up. But anyway, she, I called American Airlines, of course, the girl on the phone guarantees me that this will not continue past the weekend. Our CEOs won't let
How can she guarantee you that? How does she know that? Is
she told me it's hysterical. Our CEOs will never let this go beyond the weekend. This is what she told me. I said, oh, this is
the American Airlines Psychic Reservation Desk.
I figured you'd like to hear that comment by them. Anyway,
well,
they tell me
I would switch over to Air Canada immediately, if not sooner.
Well, and of course, American won't let you do that until 24 hours before. That's when I call and check in again on the international flight. Then they'll let me know if it's canceled, which of course is also wrong. I'm going to go to the ticket counters
Well,
are going to
what
tell
do
me
you mean? What do you mean they won't let you do that? I don't understand. Can't you
Well, the point is they won't-
cancel the ticket anytime you want and like use the tickets later on?
they'll make you pay. You know, you're going to lose whatever. You know, it's only May. I don't know. It's probably $50. I didn't even look into that part of it yet. But I figure I'll be on the 11 o'clock news killing the supervisor from American Airlines Wednesday night, and not instead of being in Montreal, but you know.
Okay, good luck, pal.
Thank you.
Sounds like you'll need it. There you go, another endorsement for American Airlines. Open line in Broward, all three in Dade County. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. We're still waiting. Believe me, we're not holding anything back here, okay? We're still waiting. The suspense, you can play with your toenail, okay? As they just keep dragging. See, I don't understand this because there were three senators yet to speak. 15 minutes times 3 is 45 minutes with maybe a couple of seconds for, clearing the air time or whatever they were doing. So that might have been an hour. They convened the goddamn thing at 9:50 when the preacher there finally finished with his invocation, whatever the hell they do. Totally inappropriate comments, by the way. So that was 10 before 10. What the hell are they doing in there? They must be having an orgy in there, I would imagine. Maybe they got Monica back in there again. Here's Coral Springs. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, dealing with Senator Orrin Hatch, he's from Utah and all.
Orrin Snatch, yes.
He is one of the people that's going to take a big hit when they start investigating this whole Olympic thing, because he was one of the big pushers, one of the big backers out there, and now they're going to have all kinds of problems coming up before the Olympic came up. And it's interesting because he seems to be the biggest Clinton basher out there.
No, he's not. Orrin Snatch?
Sure he is.
I don't agree at all.
No? You think he's been defending Clinton?
No, I think he's like more in the middle. Compared to some of the fanatics like Jesse Helms and Strom Thurmond, he's almost like liberal.
Oh, I'm mistaken then.
Okay, have a great day. No, Orrin Snatch, quite frankly, I could almost live with him if he weren't from Utah. That's where his problem is. He's from Utah. Other than that, he's not all that bad. Even Ted Kennedy goes to lunch and they get drunk together. Let's see. Now they're showing the articles of impeachment. We already know what they say, okay? Here's Article 1. There's Article 2. Let's stop stalling for time there on CNN, okay? Let's get the cameras back in the room. Force your way in there. Just knock that goddamn Rehnquist asshole over on the side with his flowing robe and his gold bands and the whole deal. Just knock him aside and get this thing going already. Man, oh man, we got important stuff going on here, like, draft picks to talk about. Here's a mobile in Sunrise. Hello.
Neil!
Yes?
God! Hi, Neil.
Okay.
How are you, Neil?
Great.
I've been listening to the show for about 4 years, but listening to me, you have to hear what happened to me yesterday. I'm traveling south just past Sunrise, going on my way to Broward on Pine Island. What you say, suddenly I see like 5 cops in front of me playing with their guns. Estos maricones, they don't know anything better to do than just play with the radars, Anyways, as soon as that's happening, I go down. I never run around there. There's a school around there. But in any case, I start flashing my lights to let everybody know that I'm doing this because there's a couple of guys back there with the radar detector.
And they pulled you over because you were flashing your lights? Is that what you're going to tell us?
Listen to me. They pull me over. I see a guy walking in the middle of the road because at this point I'm going like 25 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Flashing my lights, and then what you see, this guy walking in the middle of, right in front of the First Union Bank,
Yeah.
Pine Island.
Yeah.
He stops me in the middle of the road. He doesn't even let me pull over to the side, in the middle of the road.
For flashing your lights, right?
For flashing my lights.
All right,
Oh!
call us when you get out.
Oh!
We have an open line in Broward, 5670560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Better do this break. There's Charles Bierbauer, beard and all, CNN senior Washington correspondent, and he's going, that's it. 2 hours now they've had of nonstop because they just can't get their ass together up there in the Senate. Come on, America's sitting back and waiting, okay? You can only milk so much out of this, sweethearts. Let's get going. Let's get the show on the road. Let's get the yays and going here.
The Neil Rogers Show on 560 WQAM Miami, Fort Lauderdale. Neil God.
Bill cigars in Monica's vagina. Right. She lets out a giggle when he makes it wiggle. Monica is not the kind you can do in the behind, but a cigar in her vagina she don't mind.
Damn it.
Well, he don't know where a stogie goes. I can see how there was some confusion between humidor and humid whore. And in Arkansas, the term cedar box means saw her naked. Stars report can lead to going blind. Now Clinton, he was working hard, late nights in the Ovary office, working on a practical joke. He took a Macanudo, put an exploding load in. Poor Monica was blowing rings of smoke. Bill cigars in Monica's vagina. Yep. She lets out a giggle every time he makes it wiggle. Monica is not the kind you can do in the behind, but a cigar in her vagina she don't mind. You go to hell and you die. Oh, people feel that Hillary's been made a fool of by her husband. Feel that Hillary was wronged. Up in the Lincoln bedroom, she was moaning, moaning. Al Gore was doing her with Bill's old bomb. Bill cigars in Monica's vagina.
Okay.
She lets out a giggle every friggin' time he makes it wiggle. Monica is not the kind you can do in the behind, but a cigar in her vagina she don't mind.
Suck my dick.
Oh, Candy Sandy, yeah, Dutch master is faster. Oh, yeah. What you gotta do is take a Tipperillo and put it in a grill. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, now, a cigar and oh, yeah.
12 noon at 560 WQAM. By the way, staggering turn of events. They've decided not to even vote on impeaching Bill Clinton. Instead, they're going to impeach Ken Jenney, sheriff of Broward County, and convict him like in about 2.5 seconds. They're all going to vote on all articles. Ken Jenney and the Pleasure Police striking terror into pleasure seekers all over Broward County from pillar to post. From the Dade-Broward line, from Miramar, from Hallandale Beach Boulevard and Miramar Parkway, all the way up to, what? Deerfield? What's the northernmost part of Broward County? Is it Deerfield Beach?
I think so, yes.
Okay. And everywhere in between, okay? All the way out to the Everglades, all the way out there to the goddamn Sawgrass, and then a little bit. All the way over to the goddamn ocean and everything in between. Ken Jenney and the Pleasure Police in Broward, just devastating. Sticking their nose into everybody's and other private parts. Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello. Mobile in Fort Lauderdale.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, listen, I got to tell you, I work for CNBC as an anchor, and I come down here a lot. You are about as much a part of Florida for me as Brickell Boulevard or Biscayne Bay. I go back with you to Zeta 4 and then IOD, and in fact, I still run around with that girl from Ipanema bit on a little cassette. The Brian Cox and the rest of them are singing da-da-da-da-da.
Right.
Yeah, well, I have you, I'm indoctrinating the people in our newsroom with you now because I can get you on the web. So I just want you to know it would not be a normal Florida vacation if I couldn't find you somewhere on the dial. And I'm
God
always
bless
happy
you. Let me ask you something. Since you work for CNBC,
yeah.
And even though I'm sure you work in the news part, not in the stock market deal.
No, I am. I'm a business anchor.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Really? Well, let me ask you this, because I thought that on today of all days, unless they're waiting for a gigantic turnaround, I would have thought that today would be a day the market would go zooming up, but the Nasdaq's taking a big dump. It's down 55.5, and the Dow's down about 30 somewhere. I would have thought that maybe they're waiting until after the votes. Is that it?
You know, in the stock market, first of all, what you're talking about is what we call a relief rally, where whatever it is that was supposed to be horrible doesn't happen and everybody buys. Unfortunately, you got several other factors at work here. Number one, it's a Friday. People like to square positions ahead of the weekend. Number two, you got some problems with some of the high-tech stocks. You have a lot of profit taking after an incredible run-up yesterday. The Nasdaq was up almost 100 points, which is a record. So you got people taking money off the table. And also there's a motto in our business called buy the rumors, sell the news. And so, you know, if in fact what's happening is happening. They're selling the news.
There's always some reason, isn't there?
There's always an excuse.
There's always some chigger in the woodpile that just when they think everything's going great. Like yesterday, I see the market's up 180 points on the Dow. I'm watching the ticker at 405, and here comes my Caterpillar, my depressed Caterpillar stock, down a quarter of a point. On a day when the market goes up 200 points and my Caterpillar goes down a quarter of a point.
Well, you know, the bottom line here is, you know, the excuse mavens, as I like to call them, the people we get on the air who tell us why the market is doing what it's doing. They've all got their own acts, and they've got their own reasons for why they say what they say. But the bottom line is the market will do what the market will do, and, you know, it's pretty pricey. The valuations are high, and a lot of folks are nervous.
You guys do a great job, by the way. I have no idea. What do they, like, bring in the lunch from outside? These guys, I've mentioned this on here many times, the CNBC people are the longest hours of anybody in the media in the history of television, radio, you name it. Joe Kernan's on there from like 7 o'clock in the morning until 6 or 7 o'clock at night. I don't think he sleeps.
No, he gets a working lunch break, but Joe works hard, and you probably know my name is Ted David, and I'm on from
See all
11
the time,
to 12,
Ted.
and I do Market Wrap with Maria Bartiromo from 5 to 6.
Absolutely.
And then when Griffith's not out, when they're not in, I do Power Lunch, and then I do Street Science. They work this hard, but it's a nice place, and it's a lot of fun.
You're doing a great job.
Well, thanks, Neil. And again, it's really, and I'm not joking, I'm not being patronizing. It is always good to know when I'm parking my fat behind in the beach, wherever it may be, I got a Walkman on, and I know I can find you someplace. So
Thanks a lot, Ted. Good talking to you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
All righty. Bye.
Ted David from CNBC. Good Jewish boy. Always trust a guy with two first names. That's what I say, especially if one of them is Jewish, like David. Okay, we have two. We're still waiting. Here's this Jeff Greenfeld guy, and there's Bernie Shaw with an incredulous look on his puss. I'll tell you, I've already told you a million times about what a real hard-bitten son of a bitch Bernie Shaw is. That's why we like him, right?
Oh!
Yeah. He ought to lighten up a little bit. Two open lines in date, 5670560. By the way, here's a fax. Speaking of the business, here's another. And I always love it. Oh, wait a minute. It's a Clear Channel fax. I'll save it for later. Here we go. They're coming back in.
Senate. The Senate has met almost exclusively as a court of impeachment since January 7, 1999, to consider the articles of impeachment against the President of the United States. The Senate meets today to conclude this trial by voting on the articles of impeachment, thereby fulfilling its obligation under the Constitution. I believe we are ready to proceed to the vote on the articles, and I yield the floor.
The chair would inform those in attendance
Here's
in the
that fascist
Senate gallery
breakfast, by the way.
that under Rule 19 of the Standing Rules of the Senate, demonstrations of approval or disapproval are prohibited, and it is the duty of the chair to enforce order on his own initiative. The clerk will now read the first article of impeachment.
Here we go, boys and girls. Boy, you can feel it, the thunder down under. Wow. Man.
Article 1. In his conduct while President of the United States, William Jefferson Clinton, in violation of his constitutional oath, faithfully to execute the office of President of the United States and, to the best of his ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. And in violation of his constitutional duty to take care that the laws be faithfully executed, has willfully corrupted and manipulated the judicial process of the United States for his personal gain and exoneration, impeding the administration of justice in that. On August 17th, 1998, William Jefferson Clinton swore to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth before a federal grand jury of the United States. Contrary to that oath, William Jefferson Clinton willfully provided perjurious, false, and misleading testimony to the grand jury concerning one or more of the following.
Dumb son of a bitch.
1. The nature and details of his relationship with a subordinate government employee.
2.
Prior perjurious, false, and misleading testimony he gave in a federal civil rights action brought against him. 3. Prior false and misleading statements he allowed his attorney to make to a federal judge in that civil rights action. And 4, his corrupt efforts to influence the testimony of witnesses and to impede the discovery of evidence in that civil rights action.
Outrageous.
In doing this, William Jefferson Clinton has undermined the integrity of his office, has brought disrepute on the presidency, has betrayed his trust as president, and has acted in a manner subversive of the rule of law and justice, to the manifest injury of the people of the United States. Wherefore, William Jefferson Clinton, by such conduct, warrants impeachment and trial, and removal from office and disqualification to hold and enjoy any office of honor,
we're
trust,
pacing
or
ourselves
profit
so that when I get
under the
finished the
United
vote on the
States.
first one, follow what I'm saying. We can do that.
The chair reminds
real
the
quick.
Senate
Follow what
that
I'm
each
saying,
senator,
George?
when his name or her name is called,
Yes,
will
sir.
stand in his or her place and
Come on,
vote
let's get on.
guilty or
Let's
not
stand at her their
guilty,
place and
as
just dummy up.
required
Say
by
yea or
Rule
nay, and that's
23
it,
of the
dummy up.
Senate Rules on Impeachment.
Okay.
No. The chair also refers to Article
Get
1,
ready, got your
Section
pen and
3,
pencil, got
Clause
your
6
scorecard.
of the
I had Kaplan, by the way, be on a minute with the overs and
regarding
the
the
unders.
vote required for conviction on impeachment. Quote, no person shall be convicted without the concurrence of 2/3 of the members present. The question is on the first article of impeachment.
Yeah, we know.
Senators, how say you? Is the respondent, William Jefferson Clinton, guilty or not guilty?
Yes.
A roll call vote is required. The clerk will call the roll.
Oh, here we go. Now, this is
Mr. Abraham.
Mr. Abraham.
Mr. Abraham, guilty. Mr. Akaka.
What kind of a name is that?
Mr. Akaka, not guilty.
No.
Mr. Allard. Mr. Allard,
Oh, yes.
guilty.
Yeah. How did I know?
Mr. Ashcroft.
Oh, yeah, definitely yes.
Mr. Ashcroft, guilty.
Yes.
Mr. Baucus.
Definitely no.
Mr. Baucus, not
No.
guilty. Mr. By.
Mr. By.
No.
Mr.
It
By,
is more fun when they say
not
Mr.
guilty.
By, I, but he said
No.
Mr. Bennett. Mr.
That's
Bennett,
interesting.
guilty.
Oh.
Yes.
Mr. Biden.
No.
No.
Mr. Biden, not guilty.
4-4, by the way, if you're keeping score.
Mr. Bingaman.
No.
No.
Mr. Bingaman, not guilty. Mr. Bond.
Guilty.
Mr. Bond, guilty.
Yes.
Mrs. Boxer.
No.
Mrs. Boxer, not guilty. Mr. Bro.
No.
No.
Mr. Bro,
Mr. Bro,
not
no.
guilty. Mr. Brownback. Mr. Brownback, guilty.
Yes.
7 to 6
Mr.
on the not
Bryant.
guilties. Mr. Bryan.
Mr.
No.
Bryan, not
No.
guilty. Mr. Bunning.
Oh, yeah, good old pitcher.
Mr. Bunning.
Pitcher always says yes.
Guilty.
Yeah.
Mr. Burns.
Wait till we get to Bird.
Mr. Burns, guilty.
Yes.
Mr. Byrd.
Uh-oh.
Mr. Byrd, not guilty.
Wow.
Mr. Campbell. Mr. Campbell, guilty.
Yes.
Mr. Chafee. Mr. Chafee, not guilty.
No.
That's a Republican, by the way.
Mr. Cleland. Mr. Cleland, not guilty.
No.
11 to 9 on the not guilty so
Mr.
far.
Cochran.
They're desperate to get to 50 or
Mr.
51.
Cochran, guilty.
Yes.
Ms. Collins.
Oh, she's going to vote no.
Ms. Collins, not guilty.
Told you. Another Republican.
Mr. Conrad. Mr. Conrad, not guilty.
No.
Mr. Coverdale.
Guilty as
Mr.
hell.
Coverdale, guilty.
Yes.
How did we know?
Mr. Craig. Mr. Craig, guilty.
Yes.
Mr. Crapo.
What a bunch of crepo this
Mr.
is.
Crapo, guilty.
Yes.
13-13,
Mr.
it's all even.
Mr.
Daschle.
Daschle, not
No.
guilty. Mr. DeWine,
Oh, guilty as
Mr.
hell.
DeWine.
Just a little prick.
guilty.
Yes.
Yeah, we knew that.
Mr. Dodd.
No.
Mr. Dodd, not guilty. Mr. Domenici.
Yes.
Mr. Domenici, guilty. Mr. Dorgan.
No.
Mr. Dorgan, not
15 guilty, 16 not guilty.
Mr. Durbin.
You hanging on the edge of your seat?
No.
Mr. Durbin,
says
No.
not guilty. Mr. Edwards.
No.
Mr. Edwards,
No. No.
not guilty.
yeah.
Mr. Enzi.
Yes.
Mr. Enzi, guilty. Mr. Feingold.
No.
Mr. Feingold, not guilty. Mrs.
That's a shady
Feinstein.
bastard, that one.
No.
Mrs. Feinstein, not guilty.
16 guilty, 20 not guilty.
Mr. Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald, guilty. Mr. Frist.
Yes.
Mr. Frist, guilty. Mr. Gorton. Mr. Gorton, not guilty.
That's 3 Republicans not guilty, by the way, so far. I just
Mr.
thought I mentioned that
Graham
in
of
passing.
Florida.
Mr. Graham of Florida says
no.
Mr. Graham of Florida, not guilty. Mr. Graham of Texas. Mr. Graham of Texas, guilty.
Yes.
Sure.
Mr. Grahams of Minnesota. Mr. Grahams of Minnesota, guilty.
Yes.
Mr. Grassley. Mr. Grassley, guilty.
Yes.
Mr. Gregg. Mr. Gregg, guilty.
Yes.
22 apiece, baby.
Mr. Hagel.
Going to the top of the 5th inning.
Mr. Hagel, guilty.
Yes.
Mr. Harkin.
No.
Mr. Harkin,
No. No.
not guilty.
No.
Mr. Hatch. Mr. Hatch, guilty.
Yes.
Like the guy said.
Mr. Helms.
Oh.
Yes. Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Helms,
Yes. Yes.
guilty.
Yes.
Mr. Hollings.
No.
Mr.
25
Hollings,
guilty, 24 not
guilty.
guilty. Nip and tuck, baby.
Mr. Hutchinson of Arkansas.
Yes.
Mr. Hutchinson of Arkansas, guilty. Mrs. Hutchison of Texas. Mrs. Hutchison of Texas, guilty.
Yes.
Mr. Inhofe. Mr. Inhofe, guilty.
Yes.
28, 24
Mr.
guilty.
Inoue.
No.
Mr. Inoue, not guilty. Mr. Jeffords. Mr. Jeffords, not
No.
guilty.
Another Republican, that's 4.
Mr. Johnson.
No.
Mr. Johnson, not guilty.
28, 27
Mr.
guilty.
Kennedy.
No. No. No.
Mr. Kennedy, not guilty. Mr. Kerry of Nebraska.
No.
Mr. Kerry of Nebraska, not guilty.
29, 28 not
Mr.
guilty.
Kerry of Massachusetts.
No.
Mr. Kerry of Massachusetts, not guilty. Mr. Cole.
No.
Mr. Cole, not guilty.
Well, we got to go to
Mr.
both.
Kyle. Mr. Kyle, guilty.
Yes.
Ms. Landrew.
31, 29 not guilty. The noes have it.
Ms. Landrew,
No.
not guilty.
32, 29.
Mr. Lautenberg.
No.
33,
Mr.
29.
Lautenberg, not guilty. Mr. Leahy. Mr.
No.
Leahy, not guilty. Mr. Levin.
No.
Mr. Levin, not
Oh, look at
guilty.
that. They've already put it up there. Clinton acquitted.
Mr. Lieberman.
This is on Article 1.
Mr. Lieberman,
No.
not guilty.
36, 29. You need
Mrs.
15
Lincoln.
more to get there's no chance of being convicted.
Mrs.
They'd like to
Lincoln,
make sure they don't get
not
51.
guilty.
No.
Mr. Lott.
Oh, Mr.
Yes.
Lott.
Yes.
Mr. Lott,
Put the pom-poms
Guilty.
away, Trent.
Yes.
Mr. Lugar.
Phony faggot.
Mr. Lugar, guilty.
Yes.
Mr. Mack,
No. Yes. Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Mack.
Yes. Yes.
guilty.
Sorry, I slipped on it.
Mr. McCain. Mr. McCain, guilty.
Yes.
Mr. McConnell.
Oh.
Mr. McConnell, guilty.
Yes.
Ms. Mikulski.
No.
Ms. Mikulski.
We're into the M's, baby. We're
not
almost through the M's.
guilty.
It's 38 not guilty,
Mr.
34 guilty on
Moynihan.
Article 1. Are you hanging on this?
Mr. Moynihan,
No.
not guilty. Mr. Murkowski.
Yes.
Mr. Murkowski, guilty. Mrs. Murray,
No.
40, 35,
Mrs.
the
Murray,
noes have it.
not
25
guilty.
to go, baby. Get
Mr.
right on the edge
Nichols.
of your seat. Hunch over on it.
Mr. Nichols, guilty.
Yes.
Mr. Reed of Rhode Island.
No.
Mr. Reed of Rhode Island, not guilty. Mr. Reed of Nevada.
No.
Mr. Reed of Nevada, not guilty. Mr. Robb.
No.
Mr. Robb, not guilty.
43, 36.
Mr. Roberts. Mr. Roberts, guilty.
Yes.
Mr. Rockefeller.
No.
Mr. Rockefeller, not guilty.
44, 37.
Mr. Roth.
No. Yes.
Mr. Roth,
Yes.
guilty.
Like I said. Sorry about that.
Mr. Santorum.
Yes.
Mr. Santorum, guilty. Mr. Sarbanes.
No.
Mr. Sarbanes, not guilty. Mr. Schumer.
45.
No.
Mr. Schumer, not guilty.
Yeah.
Mr. Sessions.
Yes.
Mr. Sessions, guilty.
They need one more Republican, or they're going to get
Mr.
61 votes on this one.
Mr. Shelby, not guilty.
There it is. There you go.
Mr. Smith of New
47
Hampshire.
to 40.
Mr. Smith of New Hampshire, guilty.
Yes.
Mr. Smith of Oregon.
Yes.
Mr. Smith of Oregon, guilty. Ms. Snow.
There's
Ms.
another
Snow, not guilty.
No.
Mr. Spector.
What is it? He's still looking for the magic bullet.
Mr. Stevens. Mr. Stevens, not guilty.
No.
Mr. Thomas. Mr. Thomas, guilty.
Yes.
Mr. Thompson.
Yes.
Mr. Thompson,
Yes. Yes.
not guilty.
Wow.
No.
That's a shock.
Mr.
That fanatic
Thurmond.
Nazi bastard, that's shocking. I'm ready to fall off
Mr.
my chair.
Thurmond,
Yes.
guilty. Mr.
Wake up,
Torricelli.
come on. Poke him in the ribs.
No.
Mr. Torricelli, not guilty.
There you go, 51 to 44.
Mr. Voinovich.
Yes.
Mr. Voinovich, guilty. Mr. Warner. Mr. Warner, not guilty.
No.
Mr. Wellstone.
What was that? Did you hear that?
Mr. Wellstone, not
No.
guilty.
Yeah,
Mr.
here we go.
Wyden.
No.
Mr. Wyden,
54-45, not even close on this one. Well, they thought this one was not going to be close. The other one's going to be nip and tuck, baby, right down the wire. Yeah. And there's one to go. That looks like 99 to me. Looks like 99 to me, Mr. Clerk. Yeah. I think it's Arlen Bush Inspector that they still don't have. He's thinking about it. He's looking to see if he can find the magic bullet.
Well, Inspector, the Pennsylvania Republican, if we heard him correctly, said not proven. He had indicated he would do that. And apparently the Chief Justice is going to allow that to stand, although he said earlier, before the vote, that the statement from each senator would be guilty or not guilty. Jeff, you're shaking your head.
Put him in
I
jail.
believe
Put his ass
that
in
he will
jail.
be recorded as present, because there is no way to record.
Okay, that's it. Okay, so in other words, he wimped out. He wanted to say not guilty. He didn't have the balls to do it. Okay, 24 after noon at 5:60. So they counted Arlen Spector as
no.
Okay, so it was 54 yes and 46 no. I mean 54. How does that? 55. What did I get? I got it wrong.
55-45.
No. It was?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes. No.
No, seriously, was it
55-45?
55?
No.
55 no. And 45
Yes.
yeah. Yes? Okay, that's what it was. So they it went down, so that means they got 10 Republicans who voted
No.
on that. Which that was not the one, the perjury they said was weak and et cetera and so on. And now we're getting around, they're reading. Let's get this on here, okay? They're reading article number 2. Oh, God. We're getting this over with. Don't you feel better already? Yeah.
Influence the testimony of those witnesses.
So the second one, obstruction of justice, this other article, it's still going to be nip and tuck, okay? And the House managers are praying, they're pleading, they're squeezing, they're hoping. Shocked that Fred Thompson, that real right-wing Neanderthal, voted, wow, can't believe that.
In all of this, William Jefferson Clinton has undermined the integrity of his office, has brought disrepute on the presidency, has betrayed his trust as president, and has acted in a manner subversive of the rule of law and justice to the manifest injury of the people of the United States. Wherefore, William Jefferson Clinton, by such conduct, warrants impeachment and trial, and removal from office.
Hurry up on this roll call, guys. We got to get that second break in.
Enjoy any office of honor, trust,
How are we going to get all these breaks in?
under the United States.
We have to do them back to back.
The question is on the second article of
Come on,
impeachment.
let's get going here,
Senators, how say you? Is the respondent, William Jefferson Clinton, guilty or not guilty? No. The clerk will call the roll.
Okay.
Mr. Abraham.
Yes.
Mr. Abraham, guilty. Mr. Akaka. Mr. Akaka, not guilty. No. Mr. Allard.
Yes.
Mr. Allard, guilty.
That's it. Whip through.
Mr. Ashcroft.
Yes.
Mr. Ashcroft, guilty. Mr. Baucus.
No.
Mr. Baucus, not guilty. Mr. By.
No.
Mr. By, not guilty. Mr. Bennett.
Yes.
Mr. Bennett, guilty.
What a lying piece of
Mr.
shit
Biden.
turned out to be.
No.
Mr. Biden, not guilty. Mr. Bingaman.
No.
Mr. Bingaman, not guilty. Mr. Bond.
Yes.
Mr. Bond, guilty. Mrs. Boxer.
No.
Mrs. Boxer, not guilty. Mr. Bro.
No.
Mr. Bro, not guilty. Mr. Brownback. Mr. Brownback, guilty.
Yes.
Mr. Bryan.
No.
Mr. Bryan, not guilty. Mr. Bunning.
Yes.
Mr. Bunning,
He's a beauty.
guilty.
Isn't he? Jim Bunning.
Mr. Burns.
Yes.
Mr. Burns, guilty. Mr. Byrd. Mr. Byrd, not guilty.
No.
Mr. Campbell. Mr. Campbell, guilty.
Yes.
9 to
Mr.
9.
Chafee. Mr. Chafee, not guilty.
No.
There's your
Mr.
Republican.
Cleland.
No.
Mr. Cleland, not guilty. Mr. Cochran.
Yes.
Mr. Cochran, guilty. Ms. Collins. Ms. Collins, not
No.
guilty. Mr. Conrad.
No.
Mr. Conrad,
13 to 10 on the
not
No.
guilty.
side.
Mr. Coverdale. Mr. Coverdale, guilty.
Yes.
Mr. Craig.
Yes.
Mr. Craig, guilty. Mr. Crapo.
Yes.
Mr. Crapo, guilty.
13-13.
Mr. Daschle.
No.
Mr. Daschle, not guilty. Mr. DeWine.
Yes.
Mr. DeWine,
BDI
guilty. Mr. Dodd.
No.
Mr. Dodd, not guilty. Mr. Domenici.
Yes.
Mr. Domenici, guilty. Mr. Dorgan.
No.
Mr. Dorgan,
15 yea, 16
not
no, right
guilty.
at the moment. Okay, we're into the D.
Mr. Durbin.
No.
Mr. Durbin, not guilty. Mr. Edwards.
No.
Mr. Edwards, not
They need
guilty.
3 more Republicans
Mr.
to get
Enzi.
a...
No.
Mr.
Yes.
Enzi, guilty.
I mean, at least a what?
Mr. Feingold.
No.
Mr. Feingold, not guilty. Mrs. Feinstein.
No.
Mrs. Feinstein, not guilty. Mr. Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald,
17 guilty, 20 not
Guilty.
guilty. You following this?
Mr.
No.
Frist.
Okay.
Mr. Frist, guilty.
Mr. Fist?
Mr.
Yes.
Gorton. Mr. Gorton, guilty.
Yes.
Mr. Graham of Florida.
No.
Mr. Graham of Florida, not
Gee,
guilty.
this is going to be closer.
Mr. Graham of Texas.
Yes.
Mr. Graham of Texas, guilty. Mr. Graham's in Minnesota.
Yes.
Mr. Graham's in Minnesota,
21-21, baby.
guilty. Mr.
Coming to the end of
Grassley.
the first quarter.
Mr. Grassley, guilty.
Yes.
Mr. Gregg.
Yes.
Mr. Gregg, guilty. Mr. Hagel.
Yes.
Mr. Hagel, guilty. Mr. Harkin.
No.
Mr. Harkin, not guilty. Mr. Hatch. Mr. Hatch, guilty.
Yes.
Mr. Helms.
Yes. Yes.
Mr. Helms,
Yes. Yes.
guilty.
Yes.
Mr. Hollings,
No.
26-23 guilty.
not guilty. Mr. Hutchinson of Arkansas. Mr.
Yes.
Hutchinson of Arkansas, guilty. Mrs. Hutchinson of Texas. Mrs. Hutchinson of Texas, guilty.
Yes.
Mr. Inhofe.
Yeah. Wake him up.
Mr.
Poke him
Inhofe.
in the ribs.
Guilty.
Yes.
29-23
Noway.
guilty.
No.
Mr. Noway, not guilty. Mr. Jeffords. Mr. Jeffords, not guilty.
No.
Another Republican. That's
Mr.
3.
Johnson.
No.
Mr. Johnson, not guilty. Mr. Kennedy.
No.
Mr. Kennedy, not guilty. Mr. Kerry of Nebraska.
No.
Mr. Kerry of Nebraska, not guilty. Mr. Kerry of Massachusetts.
No.
Mr. Kerry
29-29,
of
baby.
Massachusetts, not guilty.
Almost at halftime.
Mr. Cole. Mr.
No.
Cole, not guilty. Mr. Kyle. Mr. Kyle, guilty.
Yes.
Ms. Landrieu.
No.
Ms. Landrieu, not guilty.
31-30. The
Mr.
Bulls have it.
Lautenberg.
No.
Mr. Lautenberg, not guilty. Mr. Leahy.
No.
Mr. Leahy, not guilty. Mr. Levin.
No.
Mr. Levin,
34-30.
not
No.
guilty. Mr. Lieberman.
No.
35-30.
Mr. Lieberman,
Big headline,
not
Clinton acquitted.
guilty.
They just popped up on the CNN like we'd never
Mrs. Lincoln.
No.
Mrs. Lincoln, not guilty.
How's Abraham?
Mr. Lott.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. See, you got the pom-poms there again. Old Trent Lott, phony.
Mr. Lugar. Mr. Lugar, guilty.
Yes.
Mr. Mack. Mr. Mack, guilty.
Yes.
Mr. McCain.
Yes.
Mr. McCain, guilty. Mr. McConnell. Mr. McConnell, guilty.
Yes.
Ms. Mikulski.
No.
Ms. Mikulski,
35 guilty,
not
37 not guilty.
Mr. Moynihan.
No.
Mr. Moynihan, not guilty. Mr. Murkowski.
Yes.
Mr. Murkowski, guilty. Mrs. Murray.
No.
Mrs. Murray, not guilty. Mr. Nichols.
Yes.
Mr. Nichols, guilty. Mr. Reed of Rhode Island.
No.
Mr. Reed of Rhode Island, not guilty. Mr. Reed of Nevada.
No.
Mr. Reed of Nevada, not guilty.
37 yes,
Mr. Robb.
41 no. 42
Mr. Robb,
no.
not guilty. Mr. Roberts. Mr.
Yes.
Roberts, guilty. Mr. Rockefeller.
No.
Mr. Rockefeller, not guilty. Mr. Ross. Mr. Ross,
Yes.
guilty. Mr. Santorum.
Yes.
Mr. Santorum, guilty. Mr. Sarbanes.
No.
Mr. Sarbanes,
40 guilty, 44
not
No.
guilty. Mr. Schumer.
No.
Mr. Schumer, not guilty. Mr. Sessions.
Yes.
Mr. Sessions, guilty. Mr. Shelby.
Yes.
Mr. Shelby, guilty. Mr. Smith of New Hampshire.
Yes.
Mr. Smith of New Hampshire, guilty. Mr. Smith of Oregon.
Yes.
Mr. Smith of Oregon, guilty. Ms. Snow.
No.
Ms. Snow,
Fourth Republican.
not guilty. Mr. Specter.
Not proven.
No. No. No.
Oh, what a hard. Hey, how's that bullet
Mr.
doing on the
Specter,
stretcher, Arlen?
not guilty.
Not guilty. There you go.
Mr.
Cut the crap.
Stevens.
Yes.
Mr. Stevens, guilty. Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
Mr. Thomas, guilty. Mr. Thompson.
Yes.
Mr. Thompson, guilty. Mr. Thurman.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Mr. Thurman, guilty. Mr. Torricelli,
No.
48,
Mr.
48,
Torricelli.
4 to go.
not guilty.
The best they can do is
Mr.
50,
Voinovich.
right? Am I right?
Mr. Voinovich, guilty.
Yes.
Mr. Warner. Mr. Warner,
Yes.
guilty.
Yeah.
Mr. Wellstone.
No.
Mr. Wellstone, not guilty. Mr. Wyden.
No.
50-50.
Mr. Wyden.
Okay, kill it. 50-50. So did they get the 51?
No.
Are the House managers pissed off?
Yes.
Too bad. 1234 at 560 WQAM. It's all over. It's all over. Let's have a party, goddammit. Oh, thank God. Let's get on to something important like an orgy in a White House. Are they already having one?
Liberty Parachute.
Well, stay in school, don't go out on your own.
Yeah.
'Cause there's a whole lot of stuff you just can't do at home. Search all around, but you won't see a CEO with a GED. Well, nothing compares to the marvelous feeling of making butter patties stick to the ceiling, smoking in the bathroom, making out in the hall, or hitting a fat kid with a speeding dodgeball. Yeah, I remember that. And throw a paper wad with a fire alarm, blow up the toilet with a cherry bomb, dissect a frog in biology class, find yourself a nerd and wedge his ass.
All right.
Well, you'll be a hit in chemistry When you make the class a batch of LSD, start a food fight, you milk out your nose. When you go to school, when anything goes, just stay in school, don't go out on your own. Cause there's a whole lot of stuff you just can't do at home. Search all around, but you won't see a CEO with a GED. Search all around, but you won't see a CEO with a GED.
1240 at 560 WQAM. So anyway, after they finished with the vote and the whole deal, and Trent Lauder read some idiotic statement, Chief Justice Rehnquist said, I want to say only one thing.
It's a lie. I am not a Nazi.
Okay, let's hear it. You all excited and enthused? We're going to have a party now or what? Come on.
Yes.
Let's hear it. 5670560, pound 560. Let's hear from some of those people that are like hanging their heads now. Oh, yeah, look at this. Here's a standing ovation for the Chief Justice, okay? Who never met a fascist he didn't like. There you go. Standing, and see, these people are letting it out now because they've been silent for how many weeks now under penalty of imprisonment? So now they're letting it out. Wow. Nice going, Ted. Ted Kennedy let a couple out. 2 open lines in Broward. Come on, let's go. Here's a moment in history. This isn't just another goddamn draft pick by the Dolphins, for Christ's sake, or Jimmy Johnson with some phony or contrived press conference lying to the public. This is some real stuff, baby. 5670560, pound 560 on a mobile one line. Any interest out there?
No.
Here's Hallandale. Hello.
Hey, Uncle Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, beautiful day out eating some fish food right now.
All right. He's having a little party in his mouth.
Yeah, I have a couple things I'd like to talk to you about. That the entire penis gate thing is a waste of money, a waste
$50
of
million
time.
at least they spent on this, and what did it accomplish? Okay, did they get him?
No.
Did they nail him?
No.
Just a waste of time.
I mean, it's just so unbelievable what they will go through. I'm a young liberal Republican, and I would never have. I can't believe that these people are wasting our money and our time doing this type of
I
behavior.
can't believe you're wasting your time in a party like that.
Oh,
That's your
well,
fault,
I'm thinking of changing over.
Wow.
The one
Liberal
thing
Republican is an oxymoron.
One of the other thing I wanted to talk to you about,
Yes,
a couple
sir.
of things, is another thing is yesterday all these stupid people that wait on hold online to talk to you, and then they say, oh, maricon, and all this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just unbelievable.
But that's it. That's
I
a
give you
medley of
credit that
material.
you show a lot of patience with the people you have to deal with
Yeah.
on your show. Another thing.
Yes, sir.
If you get a chance, George Carlin has a great new live comedy bit he has on HBO.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Oh, it's great. You got to listen to him.
Okay.
He's great. Two more. Sam the douchebag.
Yeah.
I heard some guy call about him earlier. He all those girls that he had up on the stage there taking their clothes off and everything. These were like underage or something, because my friend was telling me about it as well.
All right.
I mean, well, he's working
Sam
with
likes
you
him
now.
young, he likes him young.
And then, and also, my friend called you, I don't know, it was either this week or maybe last week. He called from North Carolina, the religious nut.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been trying to put some sense into his head. I've been telling him, hey, I've been telling him, listen, I was born, raised Presbyterian Christian, whatever.
Yeah.
And back in I think 5th or 6th grade is when I totally dumped all that crap.
Tell him enough of the bubble mice, he'll still get it.
It's just, it's useless. It's primitive, to the worst. And I don't understand
I
why.
think the word you're looking for is
crap.
That's it.
That too.
Okay, pal, well, listen, I got to run. Have a great weekend.
Hey, you too,
And
Neil.
a great life.
All right, bye.
See ya. Okay, got to run because we got to get all these spots in, baby. 1244 at 560 QM. If you're
Yes, Bush.
I know someone that could use a sandwich or two. Kate Moss, that skinny chick, the skinniest chick I know. Your future's bleak, that heroin chic, you got to lay off the blow. Kate Moss, that skinny chick, we want to know what's the deal. The clothes are drab when you're in rehab. You're worse than Ally McBeal.
1248 is 560 WQM. By the way, nice job getting everything in here like that. That was a major miracle on my part, which I slapped myself on the back for. Great job, Neil, getting all the spots in. That's what we're here for. Get the spots in, baby. So what have we learned today so far? We've learned that American Airlines blows. We've learned that Ted David at CNBC is vacationing down here listening to the show. I'll tell you one thing. That was great. That was fantastic because that's the one channel of all those cable channels that's great. They're all professionals on there. They're fantastic. Even though some days they have very, very bad news for some of us, but hey, they're not responsible for that. They're professionals looking up in a book. And here's that fax from somebody on the inside. We keep getting faxes from Clear Channel from people that work inside over there. I don't want Rhonda to get all bent out of shape, but it says Peter Bolger is the black hole of radio in South Florida.
Yes.
The corporate sucking is so hard, not even a light can escape, it says. And it says, by the way, Brooke is really kicking ass, right? Right?
Yes. No.
No, I don't think so. Okay, whoever that is inside over there, Clear Channel. Of course, it could be one of many people, I'm sure. I have a feeling it's from John Ford. Huh? Yeah, let's start spreading the rumor that John Ford is sending us hate faxes over here about Pete Bolger. I wouldn't want to give him no trouble or anything, would we? Huh?
Uh-huh.
John Ford, little pudwhacker. Okay, where are we going? Fort Myers, hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
So I follow the liberal Republican, huh?
Yeah.
Well,
he's going through a change of life.
yeah, well, that's good. At least he's changing. You're right. This is a historic moment in the history of our country.
Yes, sir.
I would have gotten through the entire trial without hearing a word of it had you not played the vote, but I don't blame you for that. I would have done it.
It was fun.
It was interesting.
what's
Your
wrong
comments
with it?
over the top
Yes.
made it
No.
worth listening.
Yes. No.
Yeah, that was fun.
Here's my point that I'd like to make.
And I thought when Ted Kennedy let out that second, that was kind of fun.
I think the real tragedy of this whole thing would be if the greatest piece of American radio ever created was lost from this point on, and I'm talking about your song "Bill Cigars and Mountain."
Oh no, that will never be lost.
You'll keep playing.
Classic.
God bless.
In fact, I might just play it the whole last hour here today, just nonstop.
You'd make me really happy. Tell me something. Is that available commercially or for download or for any way to get a copy of that?
No.
No, but if you send George a cassette with you want to talk to George about it, he might work it out for you.
I would love to.
Okay, hang on. Okay, there's a few bucks for you, George, and tell him not to make it out to WIOD. On one or wherever that guy was. He wants a copy of that thing.
No.
Come on, George, get with it. So at any rate, we'll just still continue to play that. Oh, I just lost my train of thought. I had something so damn important. Oh yeah, the guy that sent George a $10 check to make out a copy of something on cassette. He makes the check out to WIOD. Is the guy going to get the thing he wanted?
No.
And is the check that he sent us in the wastebasket at this point?
Yes.
WIOD. Oh, I hate that station.
Here's Miami. Hello. Miami. Going once. Going twice. Probably a sour-ass Republican. Okay, 2 open lines in Dade. 5670560, pound 560 on a mobile one line. Here's Coral Springs. Hello.
Hey, how are you today?
Okay, sir.
I never looked before because I don't look at the signs. Locally, you don't need to watch highway signs.
Yeah.
Did you, when you come from south to north on 75 to get off at the Sawgrass Mills,
Mm-hmm.
you get off at Sunrise Boulevard?
Correct.
Okay?
Absolutely correct, sir.
Thank you. If you don't, you get to pay a 75-cent toll about 3/4 of a mile later.
Absolutely correct, sir.
Right.
Today, for the first time, and I travel it 20 times a week, I look up at around all the where those signs are, and 1/4 of a mile before you get to Sunrise Boulevard, there's a sign that says, Sawgrass Mills, 1 mile. What you'd
sure,
like
they want your money. That's
now,
the way
prior to them building Pat Salerno Boulevard, how did you get to Sawgrass Mills?
How did I get there?
You got off at Sunrise.
How did I get
Well, I
there?
don't mean you.
walked
I know
out of the
you're-
house. I walked about 10 blocks
Right,
west,
you and I
was
come
right there.
what we call the back way.
Right.
But if you were coming up and down the Sawgrass or 75,
Right.
prior to Pat Salerno, when you were coming north, you got off at Sunrise for free.
Sure, and if you're smart now, you'll still do the same thing.
Of course you will, but
If you
that
have a
sign
brain.
couldn't have gone up that long ago.
In addition to which, if you're coming from the south, anybody that goes to the Mac Arena and gets off at the Pat Salerno is crazy, because if they get off at Sunrise, all they got to do is go east just a few blocks to 136 Panther Parkway, make a left there, and they're at the arena in 20 seconds.
I just love that sign I saw for the first time today, and what they're telling you is
The sign
don't get
should-
off right
the
now
sign
for
should
free.
say-
Only $50.
That's right.
There you go. Who gets that money?
Who gets it?
Yeah, is that
Maybe
state
Pat,
and local
maybe,
divided?
Maybe Pat Salerno's getting it,
I think so.
so we can go and tear those neon signs down.
Well, have a great day.
And back to you. Yeah, that thing in Sunrise, by the way, we want to say it again. We want to reiterate what we said yesterday. We're all for you, baby. We want lots of neon. We even want Neon Dion in Sunrise. At least he's under the age of 100 anyway. Maybe a scumbag, but he's under the age of 100. God, the repressive. See, here's another day. This is a great day for America because the forces of repression and anti-humanism have lost. That's why it's a great day for America. And all these sanctimonious hypocrites, including, by the way, every one of these congressmen, every one of these senators, even the ones who voted no. Oh, well, we find it personally repugnant and disgusting, and all these media talking heads. Well, everybody is grossed out, and the polls show that the public says whatever you want them to say about is it disgusting and grotesque because they've been conditioned into saying, oh yes, we're revolted and he should never be getting those blowjobs. The message for the children is, hey, guess what, Virginia? Even the president gets horny and cheats on his wife, especially if she's an ice princess. How do you like that? And we're not maybe recommending that, but, there's many lessons in here to be learned. Even the president gets horny, and the real bottom line is it's nobody's goddamn business. That's the bottom line. And I think that Monica's mother with that dress, I think that's where a big part of we got Linda Tripp, we got Lucianne Goldberg, Ken Starr, all of them need to be on death row immediately. But how about Monica's mama, huh?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, mommy. That's where we need to start looking right now to that goddamn family of theirs. Of course, poor Monica now, geez. What the hell is she going to do? Her life has been ruined, huh? Her life is finished as we know it. Even Timu Solani said that he's finished as he knew it. 12:55 at 560. Oh, there's Orrin Snatch. What's Orrin Snatch saying on here real quick? Come on, pot up old Orrin, George.
I think it's very important, and, I wish the president well.
Okay, that's enough.
The Neil Rogers Show on 560 WQAM Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
It's the 1 to 2 hour.
They served a search warrant on me which allowed them to view and photograph my body, including my penis, my buttocks, my lower torso, and any other area that they wanted.
Oh, they were young and didn't know when I touched them there that I couldn't make it grow.
Oh man, this is really a bummer. And all I did was get myself a Hummer. Oh, babe, we got nail, babe. We got nail, babe.
These charges, they are really heinous. I've never seen Macaulay Culkin's anus.
Hillary is really fuming, but hey, at least the things I banged were human.
Squirt, squirt.
Oh, babe, we got nail, babe. We got nail, babe. I had flowers there to grow.
Hey, Macaulay, you dropped the soap.
Day after day, the charges they grow. That in a parking lot, I got fellatio.
Just let me sleep with one more kiss. I promise not to repeat what I did.
I'm in a deep mess, but what the hey? At least nobody out there thinks I'm gay. Oy babe, we got nail, babe. We got nail, babe. We got nail, babe. We got nail, babe. We got nail, babe.
102 at 560 WQAM. We got the Hank Goldberg Show coming up at 2. We got Kim Bocamper, 6 to 10. Ed Camplin, who I guess is going to be really cleaning up after setting the overs and the unders on the Article 1 and 2. Article 1, 55 to 45, and 50-50, a wash on Article 2. That's the one they thought they could get 51, and they got a wash. Here's Miami. Hello.
How's it going, Neil?
Great.
Fire report for you.
Yes, sir.
Ponytail sucking around on that Jap show.
On which show? Oh, no, you have to be kidding me. Ponytail is on with that Jap?
Oh, yeah.
With that obnoxious babbling brook?
Oh, my God. The only thing worse than her talk show is her laugh.
Oh, my. You have to be kidding me. Now, is he, you mean on the air with him, or he's bringing them food?
Oh, yeah, on the air. He's bringing her food today for some contest she's doing to try to get her board op laid.
You have to be kidding me.
No.
Jeff
sure.
Cohen is consorting with that bitch?
Yes, he is.
That is just on the heels of the good news, you have to hit me with that. Just brings me right back to reality. Seriously, that's the worst news in the history of food.
Hey, it's the American effing way.
You're right. Okay, thanks for the good news. Thanks for the excellent spy report there. Boy, does that piss me off, okay? I know he likes to whore every station in town. He's the best whore meister in the world. That's fine. But her, that talentless, idiotic bitch, that Randy Rhoads wannabe, what are you turning on now? What channel do you be turning on? Because it didn't work. Which one do you want?
294.
Nice job there, by the way, of immobilizing my thing. 294. Oh, it's the Teletubbies.
Oh! Okay.
Look at that. Yeah, we all know what that Teletubbies is.
That's a gay monkey, moron.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Winky Tinky just took a squirt out his dinky. Okay, get that off. Yeah, I got my own purple Winky Tinky this morning. I'm very excited about that. We have Broward open, 5, as in all of it, 5. How can this be? How can people not just be foaming at the mouth? You don't think they're burned out on this stuff, do you?
Yes.
Like as in about 12 months ago?
Yes.
What an unbelievable, and what are these poor bastards going to do? Once they squeeze the last blood of bullcrap out of Linda Tripp and Monica and all these other phony balonies, and they make another cottage industry like they did with OJ, what are they going to do then? I guess maybe then we'll have to work on who really killed John Bonet, huh?
Yes.
5670560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Okay, sir.
Have you seen, I don't know, you may have been talking about it, you may have said something about it earlier. Have you seen the new article in Miami New Times about Pavel Bure?
No.
Supposed talk about criminals in professional sports?
Oh, that's old stuff about the mafia and Russian mafia. Why are they rehashing that crap? Who cares about that?
Did you see something about the supposed head of the mafia? President of the company?
You're cutting out. Call me on the real phone about something good, not that. Same old tired stories. You know, let me say what I said when we first got Pavel Bure in this town. We've got a great, legitimate, bona fide superstar. And those people would compare him to Gary Sheffield because they're both making about $10 million, or Sheffield did when he was here. Know nothing about Pavel Bure, nothing about hockey, nothing about sports. Gary Sheffield never was and never will be a superstar on the level of a Pavel Bure, who I still say may not be the best player in the world, but he's the most exciting, okay? Beyond a shadow of a doubt when he's playing. And now you got to rehash all this old tired stuff about the Russian mafia and how they terrorized these Russian players and shook them down and threatened their families. That stuff, for anybody that would have been paying attention, is older than Foster Hewitt, okay? But, so instead of like dwelling on the positive, like, wow, we finally got something we can be excited about here, no, let's dredge out all this old bull crap. Leave it to them, okay? They got nothing better to write about? Open line at Dade 1 in Broward, 5670560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Miami. Hello.
How you doing, Neil?
Great.
Neil, one question. Do you know if any ointment I can use? Because I got a rash going up my ass, man, and...
Any ointment you can use? Yeah, use the same KY that you use on your boyfriend. That'll probably work wonders for you. We have an open line at Dade 1 in Broward, 5670560 and pound 560 on the AT&T line. Here's Palm Beach. Hello.
Hey, Mr. Neil.
Yes, sir.
You know, I've been listening to you for 22 years. My father turned me on to a Barry Farber in 1960.
Oh my God.
I know. Hold on.
Jesus.
And then when I know
Barry Farber.
I know. You want to go back? And then in '76 I started listening to you.
Yeah.
And
when I was talking to dead people on the beach.
Yeah, they've been dead for 20 years and nobody told them. And Neil, the one thing I wanted to mention, I was listening to another guy the other day. I don't want to mention his name, Rick Rowley, and he was saying something. He was doing a commercial, and you know what? You're the only guy on radio, and those sales holes upstairs, they get the contracts, but you're the man that sells the product, and you make it believable. Your voice goes up and down. It fluctuates.
It goes up and down. Yeah.
Well, and the radio, and you see, I don't listen to commercials very often. I go when you go on a commercial, I go to FM and I come back to you. But sometimes I listen to your commercial.
Yeah.
And you make it believable, and you make make it amusing.
Yes.
You make it amusing, and I just love the way you, and that's why they pay you the money they do, so I'm not sucking around.
No, they pay me the money they do because they like me and I'm a good guy.
Yeah, and of course, you lie a lot. But anyway, here's one other thing.
Yes.
I don't want to, I just want to say one thing to Miss Weatherby out there. She's from this is the butler from Palm Beach. She's from
this guy again. Get out of here. No wonder he's incoherent. That's the same jackass I called the other day, remember? He was almost coherent there for a few seconds. Just sucking and sucking and sucking. Leave the sucking up there. I've heard about your deal up there in Palm Beach. Okay, pal? Do all your sucking up there. We got enough suction on this show. Woo! Dade County, all 3 lines in Dade are open here on the heels of this on one of the most momentous events, the second impeachment trial in the history of the United States. We get, after all this 13 months of hype, we finally get the acquittal, which we knew was coming, but nevertheless, have it right here on the air, and I got all 3 lines in Dade open. Because we're not talking about did Jimmy Johnson get a good haircut, was it as good as Greg Reed's? 5670560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. What an embarrassing community this is, man. What an embarrassing town. I realize it's ponderous. I realize we've been inundated with it. But somewhere, somebody in this godforsaken place must have something to say, don't they?
No.
Christ.
Speaker, Mr. Vice President, members of the 105th Congress, distinguished guests, my fellow Americans, I have an incomprehensibly large tool. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I want you to listen to me. I did have sexual relations with Miss Lewinsky, and I told that woman it's a lie.
There's a dress that has some stains. They're a lot like dried up milk. If they've got Clinton DNA, then he's run out of excuses. If they can prove it, the president's juice, it's gonna cook his goose. On the 17th of August, before a federal grand jury, he will have to answer questions like they ask of Betty Curry. And he should worry what Betty Curry told that grand jury. Yes, he should. Well, did Monica Lewinsky ever suck on Clinton's
Yes.
37 White House visits. Clinton says he can't remember. Did she suck his up?
Yes.
Just ask the voter.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if a dress got splattered.
Sports. You know, all the sentimental sports crowd about the founding fathers, this and James Madison, this and George Washington, that. Can you imagine the founding fathers envisioning being about semen stains on the dress of what maybe like one of Thomas Jefferson's slaves?
No.
Oh, there's the president's semen on one of those dresses there.
No.
Let's check the DNA evidence.
No.
Thank God they didn't have no DNA testing back then, right?
Yes.
God. They would have said, man, you people of the future are crazier than a bedbug. We better keep everything right here in the past. Hey, listen, we got a lot of people in this country working feverishly to try to do that. Exactly. Open line in Broward, 56705, like the old religionist, baby. Let's throw back the dark ages. That sounds good. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's a mobile in Miami Lakes. Hello.
Neil, God.
Yes, sir.
Two things, Neil. First of all, well, unfortunately, you talked about people trying to throw back the old days. Some of them are succeeding. They haven't come out of there. Those militia in Michigan and whatever. They're living way back then.
And in
but
Idaho, yes.
On the votes, I had those radio accidents the other day when you went to a commercial, and I switched to douchebag Limbaugh.
Lardass, yeah.
And he had people calling and saying, "You got to believe we're going to get those 12 votes that we need. They're going to see the light. They're going to know the truth. Not only did they not get their 12, but we got 10 of theirs."
No rational person, sir, nobody believed that they were going to get 12 Democrats. The only question was, were they going to get a simple majority on either one? And the answer was no. They did not.
They did
That
not.
was the only
Absolutely.
question.
And the second thing is, Neil, you were talking the other day about how ugly those guys are. What's his name, Ron Jeremy or whatever.
And Al Goldstein, yes.
Yeah, that are in those porno things.
Yeah.
And you said, how could people stand there? And I was wondering about it because I've seen a couple of them late at night on some of the stations that I got one of those magic boxes for. But It's because I never look at the guys. I'm looking at the girls.
Yeah, but what about the women that are watching? I mean,
I know they're not gorgeous. I know they have whole rectums about the size of a softball, but
yeah.
You know, it's just enjoyable to watch once in a while.
But I mean, for the same money, wouldn't it be make more sense to have like good-looking naked people having sex? I mean, it just
very much so.
Makes sense to me.
It makes very much sense to me. But I was wondering why I never noticed the guys. I don't look at the guys, Neil. Sorry about that. I love looking at the women.
Okay, we believe you. Have a great day. Do we believe him?
No.
How can you not? I mean, he must have special eyesight. Can you like somehow selectively like peel them out of your vision and yeah, he's putting his thumb on it and the screen too. That's right. He's got his thumb on it. Oh, I don't see no guys there. Well, maybe I saw a little something slip in there. Uh-oh. Yeah. Maybe it's just raining. That must be where that came from. Oh, gee, there's that Peter North. I didn't see him. And by the way, he don't look so good anymore either. But hey, everybody gets old. That's the way God works. What did I ever do? Do I have that autographed picture? I guess I got it at home. I never brought it in, did I? God brought it to me at the hockey game. Peter North autographed me personal and close up, and I think there was a stain on the photo too. Open line in Broward. Open line in Dave. One in Broward. Like I said, I beg your pardon.
We have Eddie's phone number.
Well, what is Eddie's phone number, by the way? Well, we've been wondering this for a long time. What's Eddie's number? I guess he wants to talk to our audience. Maybe he's having a party today.
954. 806. 4423.
4423. That's the idiot that for how many last 45, 50 years has been going, Eddie.
He's also the same guy that just screams incoherently.
Oh, either or both of the above, all depending on which mood he's in, which tranquilizer he's taking on a given day. 954-806-4423. Maybe you want to call him and say, hi, Eddie. Huh? 806-4423. That's the number to keep in mind. Keep him busy. Open line at Broward, 5670560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
About Linda Tripp. Her going around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Her going around in the talk show circuit or whatever just proves that any publicity is good publicity. I mean, she doesn't care how bad she looks. She is going to pay for this so bad. Just people are just going to make fun of her 10 times more than they ever did.
But you don't understand. By now, she's probably immune to the making fun of. I mean, that's all an act on her part. She's going to be writing books. She's going to be in movies. I mean, I'm telling you, all of these people, it's going to be another new cottage industry spawned by this insanity. You mark my words.
That's true. About another thing, though. Jerry Falwell, I've never agreed with him on anything except for one thing.
Yeah.
Teletubbies, creepy. Very creepy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, I find myself agreeing with him, and
agreeing with him about what? That the Teletubbies are gay plot, part of a plot to convert our children. Is that it?
Well, they're creepy enough to be, maybe.
Creepy enough to be gay.
No.
Okay, thank you. Okay. That's going to be my autobiography. Creepy as I want to be. How do you like that? Creepy enough to be little faggots. We have an open line in Dade, 567. I mean, I got the Teletubby right here. I got Winky Dinky right here. I got my Winky Dinky in my hand, or Tinky Winky, I'm sorry. And it don't look ugly. It's just a stupid little doll is what it is. I mean, really dumb. It's not anything. Just a stupid little idiotic doll. If you like it, you like it. And if you do, there's probably something wrong with you. So we'll see you at the bathhouse tonight, sir. Here's Miami. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
I'll give you some comments on Peckergate.
Yes.
First of all, thank God it's over. Second of all, this whole impeachment thing and whether he was guilty or not, it was really a big smoke screen, and it just goes to show how most Americans have their head buried in the sand.
Rectum,
because the real story, and what scares me to death, and what scares the future, what I think for my children in the future,
yes,
are the special prosecutorial powers of men like Kenneth Starr.
Mm-hmm.
And the Justice Department.
Thank God that independent counsel thing is coming up very soon. I think in April. This spring it's coming up, and the odds are that they're going to kill it. They're not going to renew it.
If that isn't
basically what they're doing is giving man unlimited powers and unlimited finances to go and persecute, not prosecute, but persecute anybody he decides.
And if that isn't a shining example as to what you always talk about is the rising police state in this country,
right.
I don't know what the hell is.
That's right.
I'm out.
Ken Starr in jail. That's what I say. That would make me happy, okay? I'm glad this crap is all over. But let's just finish it off like the frosting on the cake, like the icing, the topping, by throwing his ass on death row. Unbelievable. Just a man gone berserk. And, of course, when you read about, the Richard Mellon Scape connection and the tobacco company, all the forces behind it, it makes you realize what it's all about. But most people can't be bothered with that. And let's not go back to the beginning at this point. Here's a lady mobile in West Palm Beach. Hello.
Hi, Neil. How are you?
Ma'am. Great.
This is the other one of the 20.
All right.
Loves you to death. Hey, I keep thinking about Hey Baby, Come Play With My Schlong remember that song you had?
Yes, ma'am.
You played it.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to hear that if possible. Also, too, what you're saying about is our rights being taken away. It is so true, and we have to start taking a stand, and that is going to be one of my deals in life, is to take a stand. If I want to smoke, I'm going to smoke. If I want to fart, I'm going to fart.
That's right.
Do it, because that's the way it should be.
You want to sneak a good one? That's your business.
Exactly. We saw Saving Private Ryan the other night, and let me tell you something. If those guys fought and died for us for that reason, and then the Civil War and every other war is like that, then damn it, we better stand up for them, too. That's why we got the rights and freedoms that are being taken away from us right now. We have to go back, and we have to stand up for those freedoms and those rights. If not, we're not going to have any.
Okay, sweetheart.
Love you, baby.
Okay, see ya.
Bye.
Don't step on it, please.
Hey, baby, come play with my schlong. It may be hanging down, but you can make it big and long. Hey, baby, come play with my schlong. You don't have to swallow, I'll have a washcloth. Aiming to please when you're going down on me. Oh, yeah. Wearing designer pads upon your face. You've got my hormones oozing. Whoa, here I come, erupting in a splendid. Yeah. Come play with my schlong. Who's your daddy now? Hey, baby. Hey, baby, come on. Come play with my schlong.
125 at 560 WQAM. Yeah, we all know you're full of crap, George. George thinks he knows something about sex, but actually he really hasn't had any yet.
I won't interfere with all your fantasies.
Friday, you bastard.
A young man turned 28.
Okay.
He scored the sweetest bag. All gone the next day.
All right.
It's too many seeds in your dime bag. Getting to the party 2 minutes too late. Isn't it the chronic?
Yes.
Don't you think? It's like praying when you left on break. It's freezing when you're already baked. The good weed that you just didn't take. Who would have thought you'd get it? Hot brownie that you already ate. A no donut sign, a law that you break. It's like 10,000 joints when all you need is a light. It's like having the feeler of your dreams and then finding out you've got 10 to life. And isn't it the chronic? Don't you think?
Yes.
A little too much chronic. Yeah, I really do think. It's like praying when you left on break. It's freezing when you're already baked. Good weed that you just didn't take. Who would have thought you'd get it?
I just got a great idea for our own TV show on Sunday morning with Jerry Falwell. Let's not hold, grudges. Tell our chubbies. Huh? I could be on it. We were talking about that at the beginning of the show this morning. All the fat people around here, me and Boog and Hank and the Beast, the Wildebeest, and the Fat Boy Jeff High, and your favorite Josh Friedman, who is really a monster in the business. Who did I leave out? And Jeff DeForest. Defoe's getting really
Orlando,
yeah, he's a monster.
Engineer Julio.
Engineer Julio, who's also an engineering porker. Lots of fat around this joint, so I think we ought to join forces with Jerry. And as long as I don't wear my purple shirt, I think it'll be okay. Teletubbies. Here's Pompano Beach. Hello.
Yeah, how you doing, Neil?
Great.
Just want to thank you for your commentary during the vote, but I got a question. What was Arlen Specter's vote about not proven? What's that all about?
Arlen Specter, he's always got to be off on his own thing, like that magic bullet theory in the Warren Commission report. The bullet went over here and it went over there, and then it wound up on the stretcher, and don't confuse him with the facts. So we got 100 guys in there. They all are abiding by the rules. It's yay, or nay, guilty or not guilty in this case, and he had not proven, and like they all stopped. The first time he did, like everything came to a halt, like, huh? Like, what do we do now, And they finally said, okay, he's an asshole. He means not guilty.
Right. And, it's interesting, though, that Fred Thompson voting innocent.
On the first one. I almost fell off the chair.
Yeah, I know. I nearly got into an accident. I was behind the wheel at the time. And I'll tell you.
Because I think I already pressed, and then I had to, real quick, I had to put my finger on it.
Oh, yeah, and I got a joke for you, Neil.
Okay, have a great day. Okay, we have an open line. See, it was a good call up to that. We just don't do jokes. Just a reminder for the audience, okay, we don't do jokes because radio shows where the callers call in and do jokes, those shows really blow. 5670560, pound 560. You see, I don't care what any right-winger on the radio, whether it's Lord-ass Limbaugh, no matter who it is. I don't care what they tell you because they're obviously pandering to a certain mentality, a certain constituency that they've developed over the years. I don't care what they say. There aren't 50 people in this country who really believe that Clinton did anything that anybody else wouldn't do. His political enemies are out to corner him. They're spending unlimited amounts of funds, millions and millions of millions, with this maniac who's been put in there by right-wing forces to get him out of there, to destroy him. They can't get him on anything meaningful, and they know, of course, he's a whoremonger, so they catch him on sexual peccadillos. And then they put him into a position where, he has to lie about it. And another thing, another big problem is we got a lot of dumb people out there who don't know the difference between perjury and lying. They don't know the difference. Lying under oath is not perjury, necessarily. But even if it were, nobody should still care, but they just don't get it. But let me say it again, there aren't 30 people in the whole country, even the self-proclaimed religionists who are screwing everything that moves, people like Henry Hyde. How's that marriage coming, by the way, that he busted up in West? They don't care. They don't think there was anything immoral or grotesque. In fact, most of them wish they were getting as much action as he's been. Just think back to that piece that was on 60 Minutes long before we got to this impeachment stage, where they showed him and Vernon Jordan riding around on the golf cart on the course. Mike Wallace did the piece. And what do they talk about when they're out there together? They talk about okay? And we're not talking about Spot the cat either, buddy. Here's a mobile in Fort Myers. Hello.
Neil Mann.
Yes, sir.
You are the man. Hey, I respect any woman that can talk about farting like that last one did.
Yes, sir.
But anyway,
she's the only woman in this town who admits to it.
I know that's cool. Give me her number.
Just don't want to be too close, I don't think.
But I wanted to mention about the Specter guy. All of a sudden, he just changed his mind. He was like, did a 360. He's like, I didn't want the president to get impeached. Before it was like, yeah, let's go get him.
Yeah, he was really aggressive, and all of a sudden yesterday he came out and said, well, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like, what's going on with these guys?
He really doesn't have time to diddle around with us anymore because he's still looking for the bullet on that stretcher at Parkland Hospital in Dallas.
Yeah. All right, we're selling weed down here in Fort Myers, $2 for $1. Yeah, man. All right, bye.
Okay, have a good time. I bet you they do have real good weed over there in Fort Myers, huh? You think so?
Yes.
They probably leave everybody alone, too. In fact, the porkers probably come in there and smoke it with them. We have an open line at Dade, 5670560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Hank Goldberg at 2, Kim Bocamper at 6, Ed Kaplan. You can bet on it, 10 o'clock tonight. Speaking of you can bet, I guess I'll save this for Monday. The thing about the new satellite dish with all the racing channels on it, the Haas racing, which, in fact, Derek and I were just talking about that at the track last night. That could open up really bad avenues. They've already got that on a small dish on Fox Pittsburgh, 315, where during the daytime they have that, what do they call it, teletrack. You call a 1-800 number, you open an account with your credit card, and you can bet on all these races. Freehold, harness racing, and the thoroughbred, Belmont, and
all of these things.
All afternoon long. You can sit there in your home, and as long as you got money in your account and that credit card, you can plunge your brains out. The potential for that, as much as I love the track and as much as I'm not a non-gambling, I'm not an anti-gambling nut, but the potential for that. Can you see that? That's what they ought to get up here. Now that they got the dish up there, get channel 315 going for the guys. By the end of the month, there will be like a half a dozen guys standing out on the corner of 441 Ivesbury Road with a tin cup with their thumbs out. That's right. 23 before 2 at 560 QAM. If you're...
It's what's the lotion in the basket.
Hey, kids, are you tired of that neighborhood bully?
He stole my lunch money.
Ah, shut up, kid, and tell your mom to hold the mail next time.
Next time, fight back.
But he's bigger than me.
No. Just tell Mom next time she hits the candy aisle at the grocery store, pick up a pack of new Cat candy bars.
Cat?
Yes, it's a new candy bar made entirely from recycled cow dung, guaranteed to turn your stomach. So next time...
All right, kid, give me a lunch.
No. Please don't take it.
Just shut up and hand it over.
Okay, here you go. But whatever you do, please don't eat my candy bar.
Hey, cool. Ah, this tastes like shit.
So, you want my lunch tomorrow, too?
We got a hunch, you gotta blow lunch when you take a bite of that Cat bar.
Okay, it's 142 at 560 WQAM. Thanks to my good friend Chuck for bringing me a great combo chef salad here today without the extra spicy hot onions from the other day. Woo! That was good, but like burned a hole in my puppet. But at any rate, so Ted Kennedy was just on there pontificating. They had some crazy bitch on there behind him with a big sign that said, Clinton is evil, and she was screaming and swearing up a storm saying,
Who the hell are you?
And stuff like that. And then Bernie Shaw on CNN finally said, well, I guess we better dump out of this right now for decorum's sake. So too bad we didn't get a chance to hear what she had to say.
Oh!
Oh, man. A lot of really hysterical
crap,
no doubt. Well, they just can't handle it, you know. Well, Clinton is evil and he's getting blowjobs. Yeah. Wow. See, you know, this was a colossal waste of time in most ways, but it did bear out what I've been telling you for many, many years, and that this country, compared to like civilized places in the world where I've been to many of them, is so juvenile and so much in the Stone Age and so backward and so uptight and so hypocritical. And maybe people are going to start understanding that now. It's not just something some nutcase on the radio is saying down there in Miami. Juvenile, hypocritical, full of crap, uptight, sexually paranoid, puritanical, obsessed with minutiae, obsessed, and of course voyeuristic as well. Naturally, we've got to look at everybody's bedroom and see who's putting their lip on what. We have an open line at Broward 2 and Dade, 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T. Okay, cute. Okay, 2 open lines in Broward, 5670560 and pound 560 on it. See, if you would have had better alliteration, we could have left that on there. But you couldn't tell whether it was an S or an F, as in. Okay, let's try Kendall. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes.
I'm not a huge Maple Leafs fan, but I will be watching Saturday night's game for the closing of the Garden.
Yes, sir. Early start, by the way, 6 o'clock pregame, 6:30 tomorrow night.
I don't have
big extravaganza after the game.
I don't have the dish, but I'll have to watch it on the Deuce.
It's on the douche?
I think so.
Oh, great.
Well, thank you for the Matadors tickets a couple of weeks ago, but...
Oh, and by the way, the article, I don't know if you saw the paper today, but it says the Matadors, it looks like they're going to be selling them, and it's not making it here, and they're averaging about 1,000 people a game, if that.
You got yourself a sniper down in town here, Peter Worrell.
Yeah, he's doing it.
And one more thing, Pavel Bure, he puts the biscuit in the basket.
Okay. 2 open lines today. They're out of material all of a sudden. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. How sad that all of a sudden, just when my lunch shows up, they all run out of material. Should have known it. Especially on the ass end of this week. And you know something? It just dawned on me. Did that bitch call back today?
No.
The one that I invited. I usually don't invite people to call me, especially if they're ornery and obnoxious like she was. But because I was so curious why anybody in her right mind, in its right mind, would waste their time calling and giving me oh, you don't take criticism and you're a Howard wannabe and you're a piece of dreck and whatever she was screaming yesterday. Then tried to call back a second time like an hour and a half later, so obviously she was still listening. I could be doing this for another 500 years, God forbid, and I still would never understand why people subject themselves to something that they don't like. Unless there's a part of them, like I've told you many times before, gnawing at them in the back of their little tiny brain that says, well, you know something? What he says makes a lot of sense, and you just can't handle it. You just can't deal with it. But she's probably diddling with her little Teletubby right now. Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Neil, you speak the truth.
Yes.
Card-carrying member of Trapeze, too.
Really?
Yes. And fortunately, I wasn't there to be busted, but I find it to be disgusting. I mean, when I was a kid growing up, I was always told that this is a great country where freedom reigns.
Oh, yeah. The only reigns is like the rain in Spain falls mainly on Uranus.
Yeah, you can't have sex with consenting adults anymore in a legally licensed private place. You can't gamble on a legally licensed gaming vessel.
Right.
You can't even flash your headlights going down the road if there's a cop in the immediate
That's right.
vicinity.
There you go. Because it's a police state, like I've been telling you.
What we need to do, Neil? We need to legalize freedom in this country.
Uh-huh.
And in closing, I got a new slogan for American Airlines. If we can't fly you into the side of a mountain, we won't fly you at all.
Okay. And have a great day. Good luck, pal. You'll need it. Another one of those swingers. Another one of those evil swingers who, wants to get laid. Oh, you can't do that. This is America. Yeah, you're right. You can't do that. Oh, my God. It's just, like I said, an extraordinary waste of energy and money. People are starving to death. Kids are getting crappy education. People are illiterate. And we're spending money about blowjobs and lying about blowjobs and was the stain to the DNA evidence match and, on and on and on. And a bunch of sanctimonious asshole talking heads on there hour after hour, day after day of our frickin' lives. Thank God at least that part of it is over. Oh. Thank God. TGIO, baby. Thank God it's over. Oh. Christ. 12 minutes till 2 at 560 QAM, your happy station for the 90s.
Don't take any bullshit from him.
Freedom said, let's bury our heads.
Okay.
Freedom said, let's bury our heads. This is the biggest rap I've ever seen.
Okay. Yeah, I've been a little reluctant to play that anymore because it's got the line about the sheriff who's obscene, and it was always about Sheriff Nick Navarro, but now we got Sheriff Ken Jennings in Broward County. So it doesn't make any difference whether it's Ed Stack, Bobby Butterworth, Nick Navarro, or Ken Jennings.